my lungs, blood on the snow, name on their shields, night in my veins, storm in my ears. Wolves trace our steps, God's count our kill. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. Frost on the oars, breathe like white smoke. Eyes on the shore, fire in the dark. Oath on my tongue, salt on my cloak. If this is the end, let it leave a mark. You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If I fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla. If I do not see the morning, carry my name in your mouth. Raise up the horn, pour the glory, let my children hear the shout. Hey! You are waiting for Valhalla, I can hear it in your roar. Hey! Every scar a burning banner, every heartbeat keeps the door. You are waiting for Valhalla as the crows begin to call. If we fall in thunder. You are waiting for Valhalla.
Yo.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. We've got a whole panel. Everybody is excited to talk about the United States officially being sold out, and we are no longer a sovereign nation. So, yeah, we might need some
I gotta
of these
put my
tonight.
shades on. Our future's so bright, dude. I gotta wear shades.
Oh, okay. So obviously, we weren't expecting to go live today, but this might be one of the most consequential moments in recent American history. I think that may have effects for the next 20, 30 years across the entire world. We're definitely gonna talk about all that. I don't think people really are grasping how big of a deal what just happened really is. Let me give a little bit of context before we do around the horn here. For those of you who don't know, the NDAA, that is going to merge the United States military and Israel's military and intelligence apparatuses together, passed the House. And I'll pull that up here to show you guys, for those of you who are just tuning in and aren't tracking this. As you can see here, the NDAA has officially passed the House 216 to 212. And as you see by the numbers here, 209 Republicans voted yes, 7 voted no, 6 Democrats voted yes, 205 voted no. So this is a big deal because of the way this will work in the Senate. It's going to guaranteed 100% chance it passes the Senate, 100% chance Donald Trump pushes it forward. So this pretty much, I mean, it happened, right? What are our thoughts around the horn? And just quick introduction, I guess, too. I mean, I know most of our audience knows each other, but introduce yourselves and
Sure.
give your guys just what is your feelings just right out the gate. I've got very visceral feelings.
Yeah, I can start. Yeah, Jesse on Fire. I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen my stuff. If not, I would imagine this is going to be a stream where it'll be like, oh, okay, that makes his name make sense. It's like basically when a thing like this happens in public, where you have that percentage of our representatives vote for something that has literally not a single defensible benefit for the country and a nearly uncountable amount of risk and negatives for not only us but for people who don't like things blowing up and kids dying all over I mean, it's like it is so egregious. It's the most clear-cut example I've ever seen in everyone's face of how cash has broken our system and has made it to where the representative it's broken beyond repair unless we change something extremely drastic.
Yeah. Baze, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much checkmate. It's pretty much checkmate.
I know.
You
Baze, you're
look at
feeling
everything
a little bit defeated right now, right? I think a lot of people are feeling a little defeated as Americans right now.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it coming though. I don't know. It's just crazy. And the craziest part is like people don't even know yet. Like we've been following all this stuff for a long time. We saw it coming. We were worried about this, hoping that it wouldn't actually get to this point. But like people have no idea. They have no idea what's coming. Like
we're going to talk about
so
all that
bad
in the episode for sure. I mean, this is going to be important. We have a good panel to talk about, and I'll let Aaron go here first. What's your thoughts initially on this?
So I see the biggest part of this that I'm worried about is our children. There's a cultural side of them that is accepting of certain things, right? And I'm not going to say certain things on here, of course. And the first thing I see is that culture is slowly becoming our culture. And because we see it happen all the time now, right?
Yeah.
But I think now that culture is going to be more accepted due to the fact that we now have confirmation that to America, to the leaders, to the elites, to the people that are over our government, that stuff apparently is okay. So the confirmation that those people, not saying anything bad about those people, because I'm sure some good people over there, but overall, their culture is acceptable for our culture to now operate on. That's the thing that scares the hell out of me, the kids.
So, yeah, I agree with you. And again, that's why I said up front, this has long downwind effects. People are not thinking about. Like we're right here in front of our faces in America, but the first thing I just want to talk to you guys about, and I think it's important, right? Because you're going to see the anti-Semitism angle is going to pop up. If you don't agree with this, you're a racist or something like that. I think it's important to lead with this would be treasonous if it was in the country, actual ally, our closest allies, Australia, Japan, Canada, UK. If you were to push forward a bill to merge the Australian military, which is my favorite military in the world to work with, I would say this is fucking treason. Absolutely not. There's so many reasons that we can talk about of why merging your military and your intelligence apparatuses and your means of military production with a foreign country, that, to Jesse's point, there's a million downsides and almost no upside. So I think it's important. I don't care that it's Israel. I think it's even worse that it is that country. But like, this is just we've never seen anything like there's so many memes about the founding fathers right now. And it's like, could you imagine the founding fathers looking at Congress doing this? For like intertwining our militaries with a foreign country that has a bunch of negative, influence into our political system as is, right?
Yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on that? Are you on board with that? That like, is this a secular issue towards the specific country, or that the fact that this is just the craziest shit ever?
It's
I mean, this has never happened for any country anywhere, not just America.
And what I think is craziest about it is that, to your point, it makes no difference what the only way here's the only way that this could represent a good decision for America if someone was looking at it from the outside is if the country we were merging with had a vastly superior military. And so it was
okay, that's a good point.
We can make that work, but
Right.
in the reverse, what possible benefit does this serve to us when it is the exact opposite of that? And we already, and at the moment that they write the bill and write the, the strategy that they push forward with is at a moment where they realize, oh, we're losing support. And so this is like pull the, in emergency break glass. Because what they're doing right now is this is a full throttle flex of, yeah, we do control your government, and we're gonna push this through without any, because we're going to lose this now. So we need to get something that is irrevocable in place before support in the country is gone, and we can't do this kind
100%.
of quietly. And they're doing it right in the open. It's going to get passed, and there doesn't seem to be a lot that anybody can do about it. And again, yeah, it has nothing to do with it being. I mean, it does, of course, have to do with who it is,
right?
But no, they like the only way that it would be different is in the example that I gave, which is absolutely not this, obviously.
Yeah, Baze, you covered this a lot last night. What's your thoughts on that?
I was I don't know where to start. First off, I was trying to look at this objectively, and I was, because it's like what could they possibly have? Like, they literally don't even exist without us. Like, we
Right.
fund their military, we back them up with our army, and I was like looking at their technology because I'm thinking like maybe they have like a lot of advancements with like the quantum computing and all that, and they don't. They don't. The only thing that they have to bring to the table is they have like the trophy systems to shoot down the little drones. And the only reason that we need those is because we just got our dicks kicked in by Iran because they roped us into the war to begin with.
Because we're
They
fighting the
set
war for
us
them.
up.
Yeah.
They set us up.
Right.
They set
Yeah.
us up. They're a country of 10 million people with no GDP. We have 350 million. And the sick part is not only is this treason, but they're going to have the ADL and all these other scumbags coming down our throats trying to censor us. And people
100%.
like us are going to speak out against it. And they're going to be hitting us with hate speech laws and accusing
Yep.
us of treason.
Yep, 100%.
Because
that's gonna
guess what,
happen.
guys? Tel Aviv is the new capital of America.
Yeah, it's dude. So I do want to, Aaron. Let me get your take first on that before I bring up the next thing I was going to look at.
I'm going to ask you guys this question, in a minute, like when I get a second to just really think. But this is about religion in a way. And I think the biggest problem that we've always had with all these countries is religion, regardless of what religion somebody is for. And I'm not going against religion, but religion is the reason why most countries end up going to war, or religious principles are the excuse of why we end up going to war. So the first thing I think personally, with low amount of knowledge, is why would America do this? Religion. Somebody had, or a number of people has coerced the American elites that, hey, we need to do this because of some type of religious side of this, and I don't want to get too far into the woods on that, but I think this whole thing is about religion, and I think religion is the biggest problem in America.
I think you're 100% right, because when we're going to look at next, who voted yes? The evangelical base,
Evangelical,
right?
yeah.
Right. It's not anybody else. So I think you're right on the money there. That there's no way you could look at this, Aaron, and say there is some sort of religious,
Mhm.
context to this. And I want to look at this because this is going to be a big thing we talk about because political parties. This is important on this because the reality is, one party voted for this, the other party didn't. Now we obviously know it was all Republicans for the most part that voted yes. But Evan Kilgore here already posted. I think it's important that we take a look at who the 7 Republicans who voted no are. Right.
And I'm curious which Democrats voted yes.
Yeah,
too.
we're gonna. Well, no, that's the Senate, but Fetterman types. We are going to look at that next, Jesse. But first, the Republicans who voted no. Okay, you had Josh Brechen from Oklahoma, Tim Burchett. This was kind of surprising. Not really, though. Eli Crane, Harriet Hagman, Anna Paulina Luna. This is pretty shocking to me because she's a pretty hardcore pro-Israel, pro-Trump. So I'm actually kind of shocked. I'm happy to see Anna's been on my show before. I'm happy to see her. Thomas Massey, of course, and Chip Roy. So we did have 7 out of 220-ish Republicans who voted no on this. But I mean, that's 99% of Republicans voted yes on this. And
Well,
it's,
I mean,
isn't everybody, the majority of them a part of AIPAC, especially on the Republican side?
well, on both sides, though,
it's
that's a
partially
crazy
that.
thing.
I think on the Republican side, what a huge part of it is that if you're a House rep and the president gets it on for you, he can destroy your career. And so
prove that.
Yeah.
Trump's the muscle behind this. I mean, obviously there's a lot of them that would have done it anyway, but I would say there's a very, very large piece of this that is just like, well, Trump's going to, they just proved they'll primary people who stand up to him too. They just made an example
With
of Thomas Massey.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, go ahead. Hey, vote against it, dude.
I wouldn't even call Trump the muscle. He's the lead singer of the band. He's the front man. He's not writing the songs. He's not producing the hits.
That's a good point.
I think we need to take another look back at those files and find out what kind of role Jared Kushner played in all this.
That's interesting.
Palm Beach Pete said in the interview that he thinks that, where there's smoke, there's fire.
I would say,
Let's see if I'm trying to pull up the Democrats who voted.
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 of them.
6 of them.
I think because
the list
Donald
before.
Trump is scared for whatever reason, and there's many reasons why he could be scared or could have been scared, it causes everybody else to be scared. And they're like, all right, if this guy who doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything for the last 20 years, if he's scared, I need to back off.
Yeah, what I mean though is like, in terms of the mechanism in the government, I'm not saying Trump is the mastermind. I'm saying that if the president turns his energy towards destroying your career, he is, just because he's got people, doing this.
Jesse, he's the enforcer.
There you go.
Yes, perfect word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the enforcer, right?
Yeah.
Like he's the mob boss's enforcer, which is
Yeah.
like, hey, you're gonna fucking vote this way, or you're gonna go sleep with the fishes.
Yeah.
And this is his legacy. Think about it. All these years going back to when he came down from the golden elevator in 2015 and all the ups and downs, all the times that he had all of us behind him rallying and all this and whatnot,
Yeah.
and like, this is it. This is how he's going to be remembered.
And the way he'll think about it, just because of how his brain is he's going to be like, I was the greatest, the greatest president Israel's ever known. And like, he'll actually say that to himself and be like, I did
Wow.
a good thing,
And
He
that's
will,
going
for sure.
to make
right.
him want to double down.
You're right.
That's going to make him want to double down.
The greatest president they ever had.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You're not wrong.
No.
So
Wow.
now,
Wow.
it's just I don't want to get into this yet because I don't want to get into like the deep left versus right political side of this. Yes,
Dude, it's all WWE. It's all bullshit.
It is.
Throw
I
it
get it, right?
all out.
Yeah.
If you weren't like one of those people that's like me, that kind of felt like there was people pulling the strings and that like it was all WWE and coordinated or choreographed to some extent, even if the politicians really hated each other. At the end of the day, when did we ever see anybody get held accountable? When did Nancy
So-
Pelosi ever get charged with the insider trading? When did Hillary Clinton with the emails or anything else? We
And
never
base-
saw it.
You bring up a
Sorry.
good point because we just saw this today. So on a separate bill that they were voting on was the Stop the Insider Trading Act or whatever they called it. So Massey was talking about this. To your point, Bays, Republicans had the bill ready and then they added in, right, voter ID requirement to the insider trading bill. So that way Democrats would vote no on the insider trading bill. So that way Republicans could look like they were trying to push forward to stop insider trading, but whoops, sorry, it didn't pass. Right
Now the question is: do you think that the Democrats really cared more about the voter IDs?
No, of course
or
not.
do you
But it's
think that it was a
no, of course not.
manufactured
No,
issue
it's manufactured
to make sure that they can all keep doing the insider trading?
and
You
they're
know
all
what I mean?
they're all in on it. That's my point. Like both sides knew, and they're like, okay, we can put something in the bill that makes it not work for both sides, and now we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the whole thing of like, if there's ever been a measure that I was more certain would not pass than the anti-insider trading bill, fucking right. There's
And it
no
didn't pass,
way they're gonna
you know?
pass that, dude.
Yeah. But before, I don't want to get too deep in the left-right paradigm because to your guys' point, I don't think it's that relevant. What I do want to talk about is what this actually means going forward. What does this merger mean? I think people need to understand. And there's some really big context and like the can of worms that comes from this, right? So I was explaining to my audience, and maybe you guys have different takes, but the main point of this, and Jesse already kind of explained it, but obviously the funding to our greatest ally is insanely unpopular with Americans right now. Netanyahu knows it, Israel knows it, the American government knows it. And so what they're trying to do is now make it look like we want to, even Netanyahu is saying, we want to stop all the US aid to Israel, right? So that way, if they do this and they actually put the funding of all of this rather than going through Congress, which has to show the American people the amount of money by every cent that's going to them. No. We wrap it up into the Pentagon's budget. And now, as I showed in my video earlier today, if you don't know about the Pentagon, that's failed the last 8 audits in a row.
So the tune of trillions of
trillions. Nobody has any. And I know I was in the military. We used to talk about how the money's fake, guys. Like we would be like, oh, there's not enough money for us to go on this deployment. Commander would be like, nah, the money's fake. We'll just move whatever money and we're good. Don't worry about it. The money doesn't exist. So now, because the Pentagon doesn't give a shit, it just spends money that, basically they print out of thin air. They do it this way, and now they don't have to show the American people a goddamn dime. And if you want to find out, well, it'll be in the audit. But guess what? Oh, well, the audit shows we don't know where the money went. And so now it's a blank fucking check that the American people have no idea. That's just the funding piece.
Yeah.
That we haven't even gotten to the intelligence sharing piece, what that could mean, the sharing military R&D technology.
Yeah.
Like, there's all of these things that we need to talk about. But let's start with that with funding.
Yeah. Let me, can I mention, I'd like just on that one real quick, because to your point about the R&D, the technology and the funding and the Pentagon, the way that fits together, I think is I was looking at it and I was trying to think of how I would structure it if I was going to make myself in the most advantageous position in terms of leverage. And I would, through collaboration, have us manufacturing key components to massively important weapon systems, like where we're the ones who make it. And that way, not only do we provide something critical to these huge, systems that can't work without it, but also the money is going to be shown as the military spending money on weapon systems, when in reality, they can set whatever price they want. It costs them $5,000 to make it, and they charge $5 million for each one of those things, and no one will ever see it. It's like, I don't even know if that's even necessarily illegal. It's probably
it's already how it works, man.
Yeah.
So that is already how it works in the military. I know. I used to do, contracts to get equipment and different stuff for our teams and stuff. Yeah, it's already how it works. There's no, like however much it costs. Okay, cool. Here's the check. Go. And nobody's ever going to know. So,
but like I said, you got to look at who's manufacturing what and who's bringing what to the table. We have the missiles, we have the fighter jets, we have the computing power. They're bringing the trophy systems and the things that are going to shoot down those $50,000 drones. And it's not just like we're not just doing this because we got our dick kicked in with Iran. It's because we're worried about China. Like America, and I've been saying this for a while, America could not afford for Israel and them to have, for us in Israel to have a fallout and Israel go and be China's new best friend. We could not afford it. They already have like all of our data. They've been spying on us for so long, and then especially with whatever they got in the files. If Israel would have had a deal or some kind of arrangement with China, we'd be cooked.
I never thought about that.
The other thing too is how AI fits into all of this, because this is one of those times where, you know, there's lots of times that there's actually seems like there's always a conversation about how everything's going to be different because of blah, blah, blah. This is one of those moments that it's 100% true. The entire world is going to change over the next 20 years in ways people can't even wrap their brain around, because of the impact AI is going to have on every single facet of life. But as it relates to military application and surveillance and the ability to kind of do all of the things that the intelligence and military do, like if we are the leaders in development and we're at the forefront of that type of technology, to share that with anyone else is so insane that you can't, because it's not going to require, that's the thing, is it's not going to require a large standing army to enforce, geopolitical stuff militarily anymore. If you have AI and large, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of like all of the things that are probably forthcoming, but we're giving them away. Assuming that it's ours, do they have AI that we do not have that we're unaware of? Because if not, like
probably not. So this is part of the way this is actually going to work, right? And so the official integration between the two countries' militaries would help synchronize research, development, testing, evaluation systems, integration, industrial cooperation. These are all the things that the bill is going to do. Joint ventures, licensing arrangements, production, and information sharing, intelligence information sharing, moving beyond any traditional foreign aid framework into direct Pentagon procurement and co-production channels. So essentially, it is going to put they will fall directly into the Pentagon, and we will now give them all of our technology, all of our R&D, all of our money, anything they want. All of it is just
one country. They're not saying it out loud. It's one country now.
That's what I'm saying. Is like what the right, federal, like at the federal level. When I've always thought about this, where it's like, well, what would happen if the federal government just shut down? Because you're like, not a lot on my day to day. But the place where it's like what's really actually important about federal is about military at the federal level. And so as soon as you integrate this, like, well, how are we still two countries now if that is a fully integrated unit?
We're not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what I'd like to say that they're just like the 51st state, but it's not even that, right? Because they're basically getting all of the benefits of being a state without.
They're not a state. They're not.
You know what I mean?
They are our partner.
It's like we're in a relationship, a marriage with the person, and
they could backdoor us. Like they could They could literally get us out of
married to somebody that doesn't live with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Global domination, where they set it up for years and then they snap their fingers and we're done and they're in control and they're in a partnership with someone else. You know what I mean? It's like it is insane.
But this is the reality. This is like the wake-up call that people need to realize. It's already been the case.
Yeah.
Like our system has already been rigged. We've already been occupied. We've been controlled by we call it the deep state, but it's the people that actually control the resources, the people that control the energy, the military industrial complex, the oil companies, the banking companies, all these people behind the scenes that would never want to get elected into office. They've already controlled both for so long. And at this point, they're just like, fuck it. What are they going to do?
That's what I was going to say.
We're just going to put it out there. We're not going to hide it anymore. Yeah. It's like they came out the closet. You know what I mean?
That is basically it.
That's a great. And now they're just shoving Americans' faces in it. Like the everyday Americans, like all of us watching this right now, they're just like, watch this. We'll just shove your fucking nose in it, and there's nothing you can do it. Watch us. We'll put it on goddamn TV. We'll put the vote on TV for all of you to watch and shove your stupid faces in it.
Yeah.
I have a morbid thought about all of this. One, of course, everything Jesse said, the AI bubble, right? And I want to add to that, the AI bubble is going to either grow or is going to pop. But when it comes to the AI part, when it comes to like surveillance, right, is going to be, in my opinion, an enforcement of what they surveil. And then it's going to be control. And as American people and as the government, is certain things that are in our Constitution that they can't do to us. But
Yeah, but they don't care anymore.
Yeah,
They
they
don't
can't.
care
Yeah.
anymore.
They're not
That's
supposed to
why
be
it's so
able to.
bad.
so now that another
why
country
it's so
is
bad.
Yeah.
right, not another country is occupying us officially, everything is out the window.
That's
So
a good
if they
point,
need
actually.
to knock somebody off, they can just do it and nobody's going to say anything because they did it and not us. So non-American
yeah.
people are now able to use their military on American people
And they don't have to abide by the Constitution, to your point.
because
Aaron.
they're not Americans.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you
they
have to
already,
remember-
they obviously already surveil anyone they're interested in.
Right.
So, I
But the
mean-
enforcement of it is going to change now.
oh yeah.
But you got to realize too, okay, we are supposed to be a state of religious tolerance. We're supposed to have a separation from church and state. They are a theocratic nation. Like, we have the Constitution. They have the Noahide laws. Like, and everybody's been talking about Sharia law. Like, that's why we need to be allies with Israel, because otherwise the Muslims are going to take over. It's going to be Sharia law. Like, we are so much closer to Noahide laws right now than we are Sharia laws. And people have no idea. Like, they have no idea.
Could you guys
have no
imagine if, to Bezos' point, if Congress would have voted to merge our military with Qatar's? Could you imagine the hysteria that would cause? It's no different. It's no fucking different, right? But one's an Islamic nation, one's
Well, like
not.
we gave Qatar that small little piece of the base where they could like test their planes and shit.
People
and
lost their minds.
People went insane. You're like, dude, it's literally one hangar where they get to test this thing that we made as part of the deal, and they were like, a base on our soil. And we're like, no. Now we're just going to go ahead and just give all of our most classified intelligence as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's great. That's what I want to lead into the next point Jesse just brought up, because this is huge, right? And it is the sharing of everything. I just read you guys. It's, again, far beyond any basic U.S. aid. So typically the way this used to work, we've still given Israel a lot of our highest tech F-35 fighter jets. However, what we do is we give them the dumbed down version of that. So like when we sell them to Turkey or Saudi Arabia or Israel, we don't give them our highest gen tech.
Yeah.
And we do that for a very specific reason, because if we ever go to war with said country, we don't want them to have the same level of technology we have in their military, in their fighter jets, and their ballistic missiles.
Well,
What this now does...
That's not the only reason, though, because if we give it to them and then theirs gets
Well,
shot down or
hold on.
stolen, then
We're
we're
getting
still
there.
compromised. Yeah.
That's you're one step ahead of me. So that's what we're
Sorry.
going to get. Our
you
greatest
were still
ally, to Bezos' point, he said it right before I did, has a very bad history and pattern of taking our tech and then selling it to our enemies, aka Russia. So to Bezos' point, which I think you were going with this, Bez, it's not just that we're giving them the technology. We pretty much just gave all of our enemies the technology.
Enemies.
Right? Isn't that where you were going with that, Bez?
Well, no, I wasn't even going the trader route. Like they were going to straight Jonathan Pollard and just give it away. I was saying
they'll sell
more-
it.
No, not even sell it. But like if let's say they're using one of our highest tech and fighter jets or whatever, and it gets shot down, and then it falls in enemy territory, and then they get it. Now they
Reverse
have
engineer
access
it.
to it. Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah,
that's another version of what I'm
they don't
talking
have
about.
to sell it anymore anyway, because like they have a black card with us now. Like if they didn't before, they really do
point.
now. They really do now. They don't have to sell. You know what I mean?
They don't need the money. You're right. But I mean that is another. But that's also another big thing that I'm trying to get across here of why you do not do this with other countries is you're going to potentially be at war with this country 10, 20, 30 years from now. And if it, like history tells us that, look at our closest allies, some of our closest allies right now. Japan, we dropped 2 atomic bombs on that country There's people alive today that were alive when that happened. So,
Yeah.
like, Germany, like we're pretty good allies with Germany now. So the idea that like we may not be at war with these countries in the future, it's insanity. You know what I mean? To hand all this technology over to other countries that are embroiled in wars nonstop. What's your guys' thought on that? Of just giving away our highest gen tech to another country?
Well, I mean, going back when you're saying that they're at war nonstop, like now, like before they used to like rope us in and egg us on, and then there'd be false flags and whatnot, whatever they could do to draw us in. But now it's like we're committed. You know what I mean? Like we're basically staking them. Whatever they lose, we're going to be covering those losses. We're there's a mutual. Like it went from mutually beneficial with certain policies to now mutually invested with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very big difference. The analogy that I made before is like, imagine you're like a young guy and you're very successful and you've got a couple $1 million, you've got a house, you've got everything. And you have this girl, she's kind of hot, but she's like a mess. She's like an alcoholic or whatever. She's always getting you in trouble. And it's like, you don't even knock her up. It's like you just choose to marry her, and like all of a sudden now she's got access to your bank account. She owns your house. She's got you by the balls. And it's like, for what? What? Like, what did
Because you didn't have to marry
that
her.
arrangement? You
Right.
did not have to marry her.
We
You were
did not
hitting
have
it
to do
anyway.
this.
You were paying her rent. She was already comfortable enough. And she was just like this ungrateful bitch that's just like, no, motherfucker, I got you whipped. This is what I want. This is what we're gonna do. And like,
It's kind of exactly what this is.
It is exactly what it is. That's why. Did you see what I texted you guys before? The picture.
I don't know.
I put it on my thumbnail. Look
me
on
look.
your phone.
I'm
I posted
looking right
it on
now.
X. I posted it on X.
Oh, I'm looking now.
Oh yeah.
You're right. So why
That is what happened today.
Oh my
So
god!
Baze, why did
Trump
they do
was
this?
the bride.
Why did they do this? Like, let's just start there. Why
I'll pull
did they do
this up for everybody to see while you guys are talking.
Hey,
Wait,
why
why-
would you
why did- why
not
did they
do
do
this if you're in their position?
Oh, if you're them? Oh yeah.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
No, I'm
this is
saying why.
amazing.
Okay, I'm sorry. What I'm saying they, as in the United States. Why did the United States do this?
Compromise.
They've been
There,
leveraged.
yeah,
they've been
that's a good
leveraged
question.
And compromised over time for a very, very long time.
Okay,
And
question.
I think it goes back to the early 90s.
I was just about
Probably
to say that.
before that.
Compromise.
before that.
The first thing I'm going to say to myself from a short-term standpoint is, oh, Trump is in the Epstein files, but it's bigger than that because we've been compromised since the 90s, and that's what I was about to say. So why did this not happen to
Oh my
those
God.
presidents? Why not us? This is crazy.
Because they didn't have the leverage till now, and they didn't have the Trojan horse, which was Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it.
We were talking the other day about how,
Look at his neck.
is Trump the Trojan horse for JD Vance? No, Trump was the Trojan horse for what happened today.
Yeah.
Like this is it.
All right, let's hit some super chats. We got a bunch of people. Let's see what you guys think. Buff says, "Hey, buddy, special request. Go grab your birthday box out of the." Oh yeah, I told my wife to go grab it. Buff, I just told her. Thank you. $50 says our greatest ally can make our phones explode by introducing a resonant frequency to the battery that make it overload whenever they want. Well, we do. Have you guys heard about the iPhone 17?
iPhone. Wait, remember y'all talk crap about my Samsung. Remember
Yeah,
that?
that's true.
I got a
So,
Samsung. I don't have an iPhone.
If you guys haven't heard about this, they announced that the iPhone 17e is going to be made with super chips from Israel.
Yep.
And so a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I'm going to pass on fucking
Yeah.
buying that."
Hey,
No,
have
thank
you guys
you.
Everybody going to Android now?
Have you guys seen the episode in the most recent season of Black Mirror where the guy where the dude has those where he uploads that frequency and then all at once they turn it on and it hits every single person in the world all at once? So you guys
Yeah,
seen that?
I've seen that.
This was this was earlier in the week, guys. Senate Democrats. This is changed at this point. They'll probably vote on this the next day or two. Thank you. 440 gems. Unk alert. I don't know
Wait,
what
so the
that means.
Senate has not blocked it now?
No, the Senate hasn't voted on it yet. It goes to the Senate next. The Senate voted against I forget what provision it was, like a week ago, that was involved in this. But no, this was the House that sent it forward. Is this irreversible? Well,
Yes.
the problem is yes, but it's
It's
going to be
irreversible.
insanely complicated to reverse it. So the way they're setting it up is it's going to take
It's in the
it's basically
language,
gonna be,
right?
yeah, it's going to be written into federal law. And
Yeah.
so to undo it is going to take it's going to take Congress like coming back through it, and it's like federal judges are going to have to get involved. It's the entire way they've designed it is to be like entrench it as deeply as possible to make it almost impossible to undo.
Yeah, there's
Right.
there's
Yeah.
no prenup.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty
Right.
much getting rid of the
There's,
prenup.
there's no prenup.
Yeah.
Here's a like for all you. Head to the birthday dinner with the husband. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're not going to hit all these. We're just going to hit a few. Very appropriate, Nate. We needed a panel. Yep. Does this mean Trump is going to rename North America to United States of Israel? Very much good. Thank you. Base theorem story literally made me LOL. The only thing that would have been better is if the processor had said yes, he did. Yeah, that's an inside one with the last live me and Baze did. But yeah, thank you. Hold steady, folks. Don't lose hope yet. This just means the American people are up to bat now. Are we united enough to stand against it? Okay, let's stop there. I mean, let's talk about what the American people can do. Well, the reality is, and this is going to be an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of
Yeah.
Republicans in the chat, and you have to ask yourselves, we know who voted yes on this, and
Yeah.
it's the Republican Party. Now, regardless of what you think about the Democrats, I'm an independent. I know Jesse's an independent. I don't know about you and Baze and Aaron. So I don't give a shit about either party. I think they're both terrible.
I don't give a shit about either one of them either.
The reality is Republicans just sold the country out.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Albania. Go watch some videos about what's been happening in Albania the past month.
My point is, how do we as Americans, because we are headed into the midterms, all of these Republicans are going to be running for re-election. Every goddamn one of these names.
Dude, it'll be even worse. You're gonna bring the Democrats in, and then they're gonna push the agenda for the World Economic Forum.
I get it.
And then
You're
you're just putting more pieces to the puzzle.
I get it.
This is what
I'm
I
just
mean. It's all
saying.
WWE. It's a setup.
I'm just saying, maybe, but I'm just saying, how do you force through accountability? For me, I can tell you this: every swinging Republican dick on that list of yes votes, I would never support, encourage voting for ever again. Like
Ever.
I'm pretty much at the point. I'll say it, guys. Besides Thomas Massey and the 7 people on that list that are Republican, I don't think I'll ever support, not until at least past 2028, never give any support to any Republican pretty much ever again. And I'm pretty much scorched earth at this point. After what they did to Thomas Massey, Republicans, after what they've done with this, I'm pretty much full fuck the Republican Party. I want to see the Republican Party burn into the ground. And if that means supporting communists like Zoran Mamdani, I'm probably going to do it up until 2028 because I want to see these.
I'm more just like,
I want to see them punished. And
everybody,
you
and
can
I'll
say,
just- I
oh,
just
well,
won't
Democrats are bad too. Yeah,
No.
okay, I get
Sure.
it. But Democrats didn't fucking vote yes. Democrats voted A, to stop all funding to this country this week. B, they're voting to block this. So again, we can say WWE, it's all bad, but it's not at the moment. At the moment, it's one fucking party who is selling out the country. In this,
I have a
specific
question.
But no, but we don't know that. It's just like what I was saying about when they put the voter ID to get it to block. It's
Well,
like
I do know that because I can see who voted what.
yeah, but they know they have the votes.
Yeah, but
Like,
you can't
before-
prove that,
before they-
Baze. What I can
before they go
prove
in.
is who voted yes and who voted no.
I have a
We're
question though.
speculating if it's like some big behind the scenes conspiracy, which I agree with you, it probably is. But I can go down the list. I can see the fucking names that voted yes on this, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
For me,
no,
I've
I
got
can't
the
argue with
same.
that.
I've got the same feeling. Like the pandemic, I have the exact same feeling on anyone who is on the pandemic. So I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. I'm just at options. Thomas Massey. Hopefully Tucker runs, dude. I'll vote. I'll fucking go on the campaign trail for Tucker.
Yeah, but
dude.
I love Tucker, but he's out there talking about how amazing JD Vance is now. Right? He just put that out yesterday.
What if we all stop voting? Everybody in America. What happens? What happens?
they just take. I mean, they
What
take,
happens if
they fuck
Every
us
single,
harder.
well, I would say 90% of America just does not vote and nobody votes. And it just turns into a thing where nobody is voting. What happens then?
Well, then they take control of everything, I think. right? At least now you can at least punish individual politicians. This is my point. I can punish an individual politician. Let's say if I've got a Republican congressman in my state, he voted yes on this. I can say, okay, now maybe this is all WWE, but I can punish you personally, specifically, and I can make sure you lose your fucking job. That's where I'm at. I'm at every goddamn swinging dick who voted yes. I want to try to make sure you lose your job. I don't care if it's another MAGA Republican who replaces him. I don't care if it's another pro-Israel Republican. Punish these motherfuckers that voted yes. How are we not in agreement on that?
So
it just depend on who they're running against for me. Like, cause like I'm too mad about too many things where I would just kind of blank check it. It's like, if there's some new person who's saying the right things, like I don't care about left, right, whatever. Like I'm more being like, I hate, fuck the DNC, fuck the RNC. Anybody outside of those groups, like I'm open to talk about. You know what I mean?
So you support keeping all these presidents, all these politicians, all these Republicans who voted yes, you're all about leaving them in power after this, Jesse?
No, I'm all about fuck anyone in both of the. We need to.
Yeah, but how do you fuck them?
I mean, the only way
what's your accountability for them? This is my point, guys. Is like we're kind of being like, oh well, every side's bad. Okay, well then fucking nothing gets done because we're not going to hold anybody accountable for anything.
Nate, what about taxes? I don't want to cause a revolt, so I don't want to go any farther than that. So I'm just going to say, what about taxes? And you know what I mean, because I just don't want to be online being accused of people not to do something.
No, but I think this is important, right? Like, where's the accountability here, guys? And give me your ideas. Then I'm shooting my ideas out of where's the fucking where is the? Everybody, hold on. Do we all agree that these Republicans who voted yes just committed treason?
Yes,
I agree.
100%.
Okay, so what is your accountability for these? I don't care about, maybe Democrats are bad or, maybe the next person who comes in is bad. These people who voted yes on this bill, what is your accountability for their actions?
You point straight at them and be like, that guy voted for this. And then I'm just saying, like, so my accountability is I point at the people who voted for it and make sure everybody knows that they did that versus I'm not just going to give a blank check to just vote for the other guy just because they didn't do this necessarily. You know, if they stood up, like, listen, if we're talking about a candidate on the other side who stood up,
we're talking about treason right now. We all
I know, but I'm saying, like, if there's someone running on the other side that's like, you guys understand, like, they took a stand against this and they're on the left and one, that's different. But if it's just like this guy who did this or some other corrupt asshole who did something else, you know, I'm just saying
you might still vote for the Republican who voted yes on this over some other corrupt asshole.
No. I wouldn't vote for someone who voted for this. I would never vote for. It's like,
okay, this is my point, right? Like, we got to have some type of accountability for this, right?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't vote for
but
them.
It's a systematic issue. It's not an individual issue. I want to know. I want to know who they took money from.
Right.
Like those are the people that I want to punish.
AIPAC is the system.
But hold on. We're you guys are not thinking in what is tangible effects for the American populace. Tangible changes that the voter can have. What you're talking about, Bays, that's great. I agree with you. These are high-level things. How do we bring down the whole system? It's not going to happen from the individual voter base.
No, we don't have to take down the whole system.
The individual voters, Americans, because this is what we're talking about. The subject is, what can Americans do to affect change on this?
Not vote for a person that is a part of AIPAC.
Okay, this is a good start, right?
Vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars. Know where your money is going. You know, this is why Ian is so great. Ian coming up with Buyer App. Know where your money is going. Know what when you go to the store and you purchase something, okay, that money's going somewhere. It's going to some organization. It's going to some lobbyists. Find out where your money is going and make sure it's not going places that's going to be funneled back to these scumbags that get lobbied to commit treason against the country.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Bays. Like, there is this same problem on both sides of the aisle. However, I can look at who voted which way on what I believe is the most treasonous congressional bill in the last 50, 60, 70
Well, we got to get organized and run against them in the primary, not count on the other side and just think, we're going to vote the Democrats now, and then this person's going to be out of a job. Like, I understand the logic there, but it's not enough. It's not, you're not even going to put a dent in the machine.
Oh, I
That
think you
is how-
absolutely.
yeah, like-
I think you absolutely will by individually punishing congressional candidates who vote on specific bills the wrong way. If they lose their seats, let me give you an example. Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw is a great example of someone who decided to fucking vote against the will of the people. And guess what? The social media influencers, me, Jameson Travels, Tucker Carlson, absolutely demolished this dude with millions of views videos, and he got blown out in the fucking congressional race because we decided, fuck this guy. He doesn't need to be there. Right. So you can organize, you can have these effects at the individual level. Right. But I just, again, at some point, we're going to have to say, okay, 216 Republicans voted yes on selling out the fucking country. Do you not? We got to have some type of accountability. You can't just be like, well, Democrats are bad too. Okay, that's fine with me if you want to have that effect. But guess what?
Yeah.
I don't really care. Let's say individual seat. If I have a congressional candidate in my district that voted yes on this, I don't really care who's running against him. I want to punish you. I want to punish you for your actions. I want to punish you for your vote. The next guy who comes in behind him, if he's a piece of shit, all right, we'll punish you and you'll be out in 2 years too. But yeah, we got to have some type of accountability. We can't just be like, wow, well, both sides are bad. Yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? I think that's a little too black-pilled for me.
But can they do any worse than what they already done? Has the damage?
I don't think there's
done?
anything worse out of the Democrat Party in the entire nation than what I see out of Republicans on this bill.
Because the car has
name one
already
thing
hit
to
the
me.
tree. It's kind of like over. Getting mad at the car, the driver, or the tree, and it's kind of like over. And in my opinion, because I think all of this is
it could get a lot worse. It could get a lot worse.
Yeah, it could get a lot worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah.
and again,
Yeah.
that's like the things that I value them, or that I mean, I am extraordinarily overly focused and concerned on when they start invading what we are allowed to say, what we're
Yeah.
allowed to do, and what we're allowed to. So it's like,
You're already doing that, brother.
no, I know,
We know
but I
that.
mean, like it was much worse before, and that's like, and I'm not saying that there's a good side, bad side. I don't believe in the left right thing at all. I'm saying that like that's why I would be afraid to just sign on to any kind of strategy where I'm not individually analyzing each person, because this is to your guys' point. This is what they do. Like they'll create this thing, like these Democrats that voted no. Like I get that almost certainly in my mind has to be part of their like, well, we know we have the votes, so let them think this because they already know they're going to win the midterms. And it's like, let's landslide the midterms, and then they're going to come in the back and they're going to have the next, set of things that they have ready to go. Like they just do this forever. That's why they always win and they always have control. That's always been my theory on why they hated Trump so much initially, is because I think that he was like the only candidate who ever like accidentally slipped in and got elected because they thought he had no chance of winning. And so they let him go against Hillary. And then, all that stuff happened. So he wins. And all of a sudden, and dude, Trump's personality, it's like, they're like, okay, this is how it works. He's like, I got it, dude. I got it. You're like, no, you don't fucking got it, dude. You got to listen to some people initially. And he's like a bull in the china shop. So then that's how I think they ended up with like such an adversarial relationship initially. But like, yeah, I mean, they always win. They've seemed to always win. And I think that they do it with, I mean, this is a very, very meaningful and complete, I mean, like we've been talking about.
And this is the reason why I think all of this is wrestling.
You mean like who voted for who like,
Yeah, it's WWE wrestling. In my opinion, this was going to happen no matter what, no matter who. And they had to list who looked like they voted for who and what. I think this was going to happen regardless.
So
I'm not disagreeing with you guys. And I'm also not disagreeing with the idea that our vote's probably not going to change anything systematically, to like Bezos' point. I'm not saying that voting these people out or voting a specific way is going to change the system. What I am saying is I can individually punish a single motherfucking politician and give him no more job, which is a decent start, right? So to Jesse's point, he says, well, I'm not going to judge people. I'm going to judge people, each person individually. I agree. I'm going to, and I can automatically judge all 216 of those Republicans individually based off their yes vote to know that I would never support or vote for them based off that ever again. And I
totally
want to see
aligned.
them
But
punished.
Nate,
Totally
and I
aligned.
want to see them
let
removed
me
from
ask you
power.
something.
And I don't care if it's someone just as bad as them, because at least they who signed on the dotted line to sell out my fucking country are being punished for it, and they lost their goddamn job for it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All
We
I'm
can
saying,
use our votes for
we
them.
agree. Like I would like to never vote for them. I'm saying, but there's like kind of like two steps. It's like, A, would you ever vote for this? No. Next step, would you vote for their opponent? And then it's like, maybe. It's like there's just I don't have enough information to blank check. I would vote for their opponent, who is, I mean, there's 200 of them. You know, it's just a. But I mean, we're aligned 75% of the way there. Except, you know what I mean?
Guys, let me just bring something up, okay? Going back to the files and with Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi got that job to cover up those files and fall on the sword and go into the private sector.
For sure.
You really, at that point, once that was done, a lot of these people that voted for this today, they were probably already, most of them were probably already getting voted out anyway. You don't think that there's some package waiting for them too when they get voted out
Interesting
in a
take,
couple of
yeah.
months?
And that is my
Think
point.
about it.
They
Yeah, I
don't
think that's a
care
good,
if
I think
they
that's
get
a good
fired.
take, Baze, actually. Yeah.
They don't care if they get fired. Like it's like I said, I don't want to be morbid. It's all wrestling. They don't care. Like it's just
not
a
a sprint,
cycle.
it's a marathon.
Yeah. Because if they get fired, you don't think they're not going to get another job somewhere in that, that world?
Well, we know they are. We know they are. They're all
Yeah, they don't
protected.
do nothing but go from here, then to go over here, and then go to here. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's just a position.
all these new companies that are going to come out of this, all these
Yeah.
companies that are going to.
Let me break. Let me.
all these
hold-
scumbags that voted today, they're going to be sitting on the boards. They're going to be getting nice, cushy
Yeah.
checks. And,
Let me,
you know, like
I was on
Let-
Congress. Hire me.
I know this is.
I'm a member of Congress.
Hold on. Because as Americans, we get down this path, right? With the chat, with the way we do this, and we're doing in this conversation of, it's all WWE. I'm not saying I disagree, right? We can't change anything. Our vote doesn't matter. None of this matters. Okay, well, that means there's only one solution left. And we all know what that one solution left is, right? If all of these things don't matter, there's only one solution left. And it's the solution you can't talk about on YouTube, right? Because we'd all get in big trouble if we talked about it. It's an R word, okay?
Mhm.
Now, I want you guys to know, as someone who went and actually fought essentially in a civil war in places like Afghanistan where there is no fucking government, okay, and they are in a civil war, I can promise you, if Americans think that is a situation that you want to be in, if Americans think that is a country you want to be a part of, that you want to live in, you have no fucking clue what is coming to you. Okay. So when I approach it from an angle of, I do want to try to hold people accountable through a voting system. I do want to try to leverage the things we actually have at our disposal, because you guys have no fucking clue what you're actually sort of advocating for what we need. This is not a peaceful thing that's easy when you're talking about actually upending and completely redoing a government system. It's fucking ugly. Millions of people die. Everybody's poor. Most people are going to starve to death. So again, it's easy for us to be theatrical about this, but we're living in the real world. And in the real world, that's not about to happen. And if it gets to the point where that's going to happen, trust me, nobody fucking wants that. So
no, but I'm not
what
saying
can we
that. Voting.
I know.
Voting
I'm
can work.
I'm just
Voting-
saying it's very easy for us to be like, it's all fucked. There's nothing we can do. Okay. If we want to be that black-pilled, that's fine. But I don't think any of us really believe that, right? I think all of us want the country to do better. We don't want to see
we
shit
need
like
to
this.
get involved. The answer
There you
isn't
go.
vote for the Democrats. The answer is for other people to rise
Herrera,
up and
dude.
run themselves
Herrera's
on
on
the
it.
local level. On the local
I agree with
level.
you. I agree
None
with
of
you.
us are going to run for president and just wave a magic wand and change everything. But you got to understand, like these people that voted today, they were groomed. Before they got into Congress, they were,
Right.
in a state some kind of state assembly
Right.
or town council position.
Or
You know what I
somebody
mean? Like
was
people
pretending to
need to
somebody.
get involved on the local
That's
level
true, for sure.
and work their way up. And it's going to take years to get out of this and a lot of dedication. And people are going to have to care. But the problem is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is all about instant gratification. They're all on their phone. They're all on Instagram. They're all watching porn. They're all sitting around jerking off, and nobody gives a fuck. They work their jobs, they get drunk, they get high, they smoke, they do whatever they got to do to get off and get by, and they just stay on the mouse wheel, and the world just keeps spinning, and they got these hopeless fucking attitudes. And I mean, that's the whole reason why I do this. Like, I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I wasn't going to be one of those people. And I think that it's getting to the point now where people need to wake up and realize, like, if you don't know what's going on because you're too busy with your 9-to-5 job, then, you know, like, you took the bait. Like, you're stuck on the mouse wheel and you're part of the problem now. Like, people need to start waking up and realizing what really matters in this life. And that especially if you have kids, if you have grandkids, like, now is the time to, like, stop fucking around and get your priorities straight and start making the changes. All the changes start at home. And then from there, they branch off to the local community. And that's the foundation. Nobody's coming to save us.
No, I agree with you. And you do have a good point. I'm not suggesting, I want to make clear, I'm not suggesting, hey, vote all Democrat, all your problems are going to get fixed. I don't believe that. I believe what you guys believe. It's probably going to usher in the same type of bullshit we just had. For example, following COVID and Biden and the Democrat control, what happened? That's why Trump won. It's the only fucking reason why Donald Trump won was a massive referendum against COVID, against the border, right? And so we said, here you go, Republicans. We're voting against the Democrats because they fucked up. And then what did Republicans do? They walked in and they fucked everything up.
And now, because of this fucking bullshit, in a couple of years, we're probably going to have scumbag Gavin Newsom as president. And then God knows what's going to happen then.
So, but that's my point is...
He already fucking bent his knee and kissed the ring over there and kissing the wall. You know what I mean? Like we're not voting our way out of it by voting for the same people.
So that's what I'm saying. My point is, I'm not necessarily just going to vote for the other side that's going to fix all the problems. My point is, again, I want to vote to hold the people responsible in power right now accountable for their actions. We have to do that. We cannot just be like, fuck it, both sides are bad, so we're not going to worry about it. And all of these Republicans who voted yes, they're just good to go.
Nate, your logic is sound.
We cannot do that.
Your logic is sound for sure. Like, as I think it through, your logic's sound, but again, just I can't get past I won't ever vote for anyone unless I specifically know who they are and what they stand for as just a blanket rule.
But I'm not saying this is a party thing, Jesse. I'm not saying vote for the Democrat against the Republican. I'm saying vote for whatever Republican who's running against this Republican in the primary. Get them the fuck out. And if it's a Democrat running against one of these Republicans who voted yes, get them the fuck out. I don't care if it's a Republican, an independent, a Democrat, whoever it is. These motherfuckers who voted yes, get them all out.
And Tucker's been talking about starting a third party. And I know, like, people talk about that. It's kind of like, oh, it won't ever work. But right now is the first time that in my lifetime where I can see a path to that actually happening, because the way that information is distributed has changed so much in the last 10 years that, like, because you couldn't do it before. The entire process of anyone even knowing who's running was run by mainstream media outlets. Now it's like the reason why Trump and all these guys and these candidates snuck up on him so hard was because they didn't realize how much the world had changed and how important it was to do, like, to think of someone passing on doing the Joe Rogan podcast in the election is insane. They just didn't understand. Now we have this very, very maybe tight window where someone like Tucker or someone like whoever, I don't know, like if there's a Democrat, I mean, I guess he swore off the Republican Party anyway. So, like someone could legitimately start a third party that could gain steam while they haven't figured out how to shut it down yet. But it would require someone like Tucker.
I want that to happen, Jesse. I think
me too.
What would that look like? Okay. Because I think Tucker had mentioned it. I've talked a lot about on my channel that you actually have, I look at it as like a populist movement.
Yes.
Right. We talk about America first, but really what America first is just populism. It's like we want it, whatever is going to put our nation first. That doesn't necessarily, and there's a lot of people that like that idea. Democrats, independents, Republicans, and you sort of have this like populism sort of from left to right. Okay.
Yeah.
To where you've got a lot of populists, let's say like Anna Kasparian.
I was just going to say
me.
Yep.
Like we are on different political spectrums, but we agree on probably 80%, and we could 100% be in the same party together if the party made sense. But what does that party look like for because you have to pull from to get this third party to work. It's got to pull from the left, independents, and the right to be big enough to have an impact. What does it actually look like?
That's exactly it. And that was like, now it's like an idea you planted that now I can feel trickling through my brain, because that's exactly it. It's like if me and Cenk Uygur, who I know, like we've done each other's shows a bunch, like and any time that I talked to him, even the very first time, I was like, what do you think that we disagree on so much? And like when we were going through, it's like it's literally a cultural make-believe, unless they are part of the like anything that has to do with prioritizing race and gender and any of that stuff as important to making decisions of policy. Fuck that shit. I will never, ever get on board with that stuff. But outside of that, it's like we agree on so much stuff that if we can, I mean, that's essentially what it is a couple of symbols of people who previously appeared to be on diametrically opposite sides, and now they're not. And it's like, and then they talk about what the platform is, what they stand for, and why it's a good, whatever, what's the right word, union or whatnot.
I have a hot take. Y'all ready?
Dude,
what if
this is a hot take show right now for sure?
Yeah.
So
what if voting was a form of laziness?
What do you mean?
I want you guys to think about this. If the American people think that all they really have to do as an American to make a change is to go and vote, then they go and sit their lazy asses back down. That is a form of laziness.
Yeah,
what me and Bays are saying is forget voting. How about, like, for an example, everybody watching our content, that's a bigger effort than just going somewhere and then going back home.
Yeah.
They are literally putting their energy, their attention, they're commenting, they're sending super chats, they're actually contributing to our channels. That is a bigger form of voting than just going to a ballot and typing something and going back home. Because going back home and sitting on your lazy ass is the reason why. Because the thing about it is, voting to me is lazy. You think you just, because I don't want to, even though we have to. Because everything you said earlier, Nate, I agree. We can't just turn around and just think that this whole ecosystem is going to fall apart and we're going to be happy. We're going to be struggling, right? But we are a bigger part of the ecosystem than they are. But because we just go and vote and then go home and, look at TV or just eat whatever, we look at them as the biggest part of the ecosystem. If we start actively doing things, actively voting with our feet, voting with our thumbs, voting with our keyboards more often,
with our wallets is a big one.
With our wallets, right? And we start actively coming together. I would say this is the best opportunity. Just look what we do with Candace, what we do with Baron. We can collectively vote with our attention.
That's a good point.
Instead of going to the ballots. And when they see our attention, our overwhelming attention on Tucker Carlson or whoever it is that we deem as a person that we would like to lead us, that right there would change everything. And on top of that, we stop voting. Then they would turn around and say, okay, something is wrong. Nobody is voting for this guy. Nobody's voting, but they're doing this instead. We'll change the entire narrative of the United States because of social media.
It's a sharp take, very sharp take. And it's also, and aside from just voting, I've thought about this a bunch too, where it's like voting is one example. The other is like people who say that they're advocates of fill in the blank, whatever. It's like, like I would always talk about how like the people who are constantly talking about the, the problems in the Black community, whatever. Now it would be like, instead of posting on social media, why don't you go to those communities and volunteer your time so you can show these kids that there is a grown-up who is making real money, who has a life that they can have also if they show them how to do that. It's like, post on social media. They're not like that's like
not
go
do
show
anything.
them. Yeah,
because posting on social media, just looking at it from the other end, is not enough. So
Exactly,
posting on social media about something that happened in the black community, as an example,
Yeah.
is the same way as people going to voting thinking something's going to change. The effort is going to, and remember, I talked about this in the chat, but I'm not going to say anything about it here. But I was a part of something where when something went on in the black community, no matter what state it was, we would organize and go there and pull up on the people and be like, yo, what the hell just happened? And it actually changed narratives. I was in Kentucky when Breonna Taylor got unalived by the police.
She's the one they shot through the door, right?
Yes. We helped change the narrative that was going on in Kentucky involving that particular situation. But the thing about it is, voting itself to me is lazy. Just commenting on something is lazy. We have to do everything. We have to be responsible for everything and everybody, and not just ourselves. I think we have a certain amount of individualism within ourselves as individual people, but then we think we can go vote, and that alone is enough to show that we're not an individualist. Nobody's working. Nobody's out in the community. Nobody's actually,
we've definitely lost that for sure.
Right. Instead of just being in the comments, start your own YouTube channel. Instead of just doing this, do something else. I think every citizen has to do more than think that we can just get another person to do something for us. We have to at least contribute to that person doing something for us. Then it's doing something with us. It's almost like we're riding down the street and we see somebody stand on the side of the road and their car is smoking. We're not going to stop. But if we seen that same person pushing the car,
oh, that's a great analogy, dude.
we'll
I love
jump
this analogy.
out and start pushing the car with them because we see the effort that person is taking, and we're like, oh, damn, I want to help. Now I want to help. I want to assist. I want to be a part of that instead of just seeing it.
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron, that's so crazy because I've used that same analogy for over a decade about people helping themselves. And I'd say this all the time is you can't, and this was not even like what we're even talking about, but you can't, like, people don't want to help somebody that's not willing to help themselves. And I've always used that analogy is like the car pulled over on the side of the road, you're never going to stop. But if you're at the intersection and the guy is pushing his fucking car, everyone jumps out to help that guy, right? Because somebody who's trying to help themselves. I mean, you're 100% right. It's just like the system, though, also is designed to keep people dumb, fat, and glued to their phones,
arguing
right?
with each other.
My
on
dad,
the internet.
my dad's a Green Beret as well, and we've talked about things like this. Potentially what it would take to revolutionize the system. And my dad, he's always said, and I think he's 100% right, he's like, nothing will change until you take away Americans' iPhones. And I mean, you think about that, and the idea is as long as you got that Netflix, you got the food, you got a house, you got somewhere to live, you got the iPhone. People don't
enough,
right? And so how do you get them to pay attention, right? Like everybody who's here watching is so much different than 95% of the rest of the country, right? These are everyone here watching is sourcing independent media, whether we're dipshits or not, right? Whether we know what we're talking about or not, they're looking for independent information. They're trying to be critical thinkers. They're trying to get information from a lot of different sources to figure things out for themselves. But that's not what the average person is doing.
No, I posted about what happened today on Facebook. You wouldn't believe how many people are commenting thinking that I'm like making shit up,
right?
Or like spreading conspiracy theories.
Right.
I'm like, yo, you
like, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Call me a leftist, telling me, you know what I mean? Like it's insane.
Hey, you guys, do me a favor, and all three of you guys go to your studio, look at this stream, and then let's
studio.
And then show, like, I want you guys, because let me show you what I'm looking at here, and I'll tell you why. I
like go to the actual live that we're doing.
I'm going to show you my screen, and I'll show you why.
Why? Something happened?
Can you see it here, Nate? Put it up.
Want me to share it?
Just put mine up
to share this. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Check it out.
All right, hold on. I got to pull that one off.
Look at that. Okay, so look at that trend line like that, and I think that it was
they knew.
But once they realized what we were talking about,
they knew.
It's like,
I've been watching. Yeah, I've been watching the.
Okay,
I think it's that they realized what we were talking about,
Yeah,
and then it was
it.
like, I mean, like
I saw that about 30 minutes ago, Jess.
Here, look at
Yeah.
mine. Pull mine up. I started
Let's,
off pretty strong.
oh no,
because that's what I was gonna say. If
crazy.
all,
yeah,
if
mine's-
all of
mine's
ours are
doing
doing the
it.
same thing, then for
Yep,
sure
mine's
that's
doing the exact same thing. Yeah,
I
they
knew
nuked
it, dude. I
They nuked the
fucking knew
stream.
it. Yeah.
Yep, they nuked it. All right, so there you go. So this is good for our audience that doesn't know the backside analytics. So what Jesse just showed, and I watched, we went from about 11,000 between all of us to 7,400 in about 30 minutes. And I've been watching it. Jesse been like, that's weird. Like it's all of our channels are slowly losing viewership. So yeah, what happens here, guys, is once they identify that you're talking about something you're not supposed to be talking about, they will basically limit it, which means they no longer show it to non-subscribers. So all of you that are here watching,
And
most
sometimes
likely
they don't
been
even
watching
show
for a
it to
while.
subscribers.
Or to subscribers too. Yeah. So yeah, they've nuked this stream. That's fine. Whatever. Like we're here. Yeah, mine looks exactly like yours.
Someone said put it on the screen. They said put it on the screen. I'm like, that's exactly what I just did.
Yeah, here
Well,
I'll
I got the graph right here. I mean, I have a much smaller channel, obviously.
I've got it
You can
also
see.
too.
It's
Yeah,
all
I
all that
can-
matters is what the trend looks like. It's
See,
like
look,
if
here's my
Mine
friend
looks
over
the
to the
same.
right here, guys.
yeah,
looks the
hey,
same
does
way.
that ever happen
See
while you're live? Where
Not
where it
while
goes-
you're live.
never
no.
happens like that.
No, not while
Yeah,
you're live.
Usually the first 90 minutes is like you get growth, and then after 90 minutes it'll
No,
start. to, like,
so
drop. That's,
you
like,
guys can
usually where I
see
peak.
the way it started out here.
Yep.
800 per minute, 800 viewers per minute, and now we're down to
Yeah.
258. Yeah, they just nuked the stream. So
Yeah,
it happens, guys.
when I started, it was like 500 per minute. And then literally it got to where it was like 400, and then it just
Yep,
like-
yeah, they nuked it. It is
Yeah.
what it is, man. So
Yeah.
so there you guys know. So you guys just got an idea of what we deal with our channels. Our channels very, very regularly get shadow banned, get limited, get censored. And to Jesse's point, we were going great, and then YouTube realized what this was on and cut it off from everybody
Yep.
seeing it. So
Oh, dude,
don't-
I went
they don't-
off last night. If you didn't raid me, I would have had a freaking 50 people watching me the whole time.
But yeah, I mean, that's-
I covered all the
Dude,
bases.
you guys got to raid me. I've never gotten raid. You guys
I've
never
never
raided
had
me,
anybody
dude.
raid me.
Dude,
Well,
I go
Jesse,
raid
Jesse,
too.
I've never had a live stream do that though. I have videos do that when they nuke the videos. I've never had a live stream do that. And
We
it's
need to
all of
start
us.
raiding each other.
Yeah.
I did last night. I rated.
Like we
rated
can
Babe
literally
last
go
night.
live right after each other. It's not.
That's what, oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah,
I meant to do. I was putting that
Yeah,
together
we
and
need
then I
to work
forgot
on
because
that.
I was going to do it in a
Coach goes
schedule.
live at 11.
schedule
I
it
go
out.
live at he goes live at 10. I go live at 12 on a normal basis, and then I'm not sure who goes live around 3 or 4, and then Candace goes live at 6, and then Baron goes live at 8. It's just a
Baron, wait, she finishes and then he waits a certain amount and then he goes, which is
then he goes right. But there's a spot between I would say 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock that nobody's going live. But that
Dude,
right
that
there
actually would be
all
that
of us
fits
right there.
perfect. But yeah,
Because I don't know, maybe Candace raids. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like,
dude, if
we can
Candace
do-
raid someone's channel, it would.
it would blow.
And you just be like, what the fuck, dude? I got 90,000.
Yeah,
people
that
just-
would be
That'd
that
be
would be. A
But
lot.
she does say, okay, Baron is about to go next. So she'll say that to her audience.
Yeah.
So she probably doesn't rate him, but she would say,
I mean, me
all right,
and,
Baron's about to
yeah,
go
I
next.
rated Baron a couple times last
Yeah.
week. I rated Baze yesterday, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that more
Thank you for
often.
that.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
What? And by the way, to the audience, what a raid means is like you can set up your channel to where you accept raids. So if someone has a live stream audience and they're about to go off, instead of just shutting down the stream, it passes the entire audience
To the
to
next
the
person.
channel that they pass it to. So it's like,
Mhm.
obviously you would send it to your friends or whatever.
All right,
Yeah.
do we want to? I think we probably ranted enough. We're all pissed off.
Yeah, let's hit
You
some
want to hit super
supers.
chats and
Yeah.
we'll jump out of here. Obviously,
Now, I'll
we're
say one more
running
thing
on.
though. 'cause
Yeah, go ahead.
This is out of appreciation for you guys. I came from the relationship space, and this is an example of how it's important for us to do more. And I was a coach. I'm a emotional attachment coach, and I help men and women deal with emotional stuff, right? And in my space, it has always been, why are women doing this? Or why are men doing that? And it just turned into this women versus men thing, right? And after a certain amount of time, I'm like, what am I doing? These people don't want to change. So I'm thinking, like, why don't people want to change? Because the overall narrative that is like the over-encompassing narrative is pushing us to fight each other. And because of that, I was like, I need to look up here and not down here. So it's the propaganda, it's the politics and the programming. And that's the reason why I started looking into politics a little bit more, because that's the reason why everybody is fighting with each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, race,
funny.
immigration, gay rights, and
Everything.
abortion. Those are the
Yeah.
4 big ones that they always use to.
Yeah.
make
That's
sure
funny
people
because
are divided.
what's funny about that is I came from the military veteran vet bro space, and the reason why I stopped doing that is because it was so toxic and everybody was fighting each other nonstop.
See?
It's funny because we all came from
Yeah,
like,
I came
different
from
niches.
From
Yeah, you were the UFC niche.
combat sports, and then
Yeah.
I don't know about Bezos. Bezos is newer to the.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I literally started this to freaking cover the files, and then it's been a long grind.
Yeah.
And I just
All right,
got
let's do it.
tired of
Let's,
this argument about this, so I just started doing something different. And I think we all, as American people, have to start doing something different.
So
Yeah.
you guys have a bunch of super chats too. So if you can follow along, so we know who's who, you'll have should have the little dash on yours. Are you guys good to start?
Yep.
It's time to rise up. Well, we'll see. Today is a sad day for this nation. I agree. This is one of you guys.
Oh, that's me. Voting won't work. PM, what's up, dog?
Again, guys, I see people. I want to make sure my point is clear here, okay? Because I see a lot of people think Nate thinks voting's going to solve everything. That's not what I was saying. My point is, I personally don't think voting does shit, but what it does do is punish an individual politician who pisses me off. That's what I meant.
If you understand who the people there are people who have power. This is actually something I had when I talked to Palm Beach Pete the first time we had a tech issue. I actually made the comment about the Epstein thing, and I was like, what's crazy about this whole thing to me is how individual people who have no power at all, when you get enough of them marching in the same direction, then they have power. He's like, nope. He's like, they don't have power, but they have influence. And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, so there's the power, and you need to think about what's going to influence the person with the power to, do the thing that, you know what I mean?
That seems like something Jeffrey Epstein would have been very good at, by the way.
Pretty insightful. Pretty insightful.
Yeah, pretty insightful from Palm Beach Pete there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, one for you guys.
No,
Is that you, Jess?
it's not mine. But
1,000 gems.
Hold on, let's make sure everybody knows who's who, right? So
Yeah, I don't know
let's
who.
make it. So, Baze, Aaron, if it's got a little chain link thing next to your name, those are yours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got my studio up, so I
Okay.
know who's coming.
All right.
that's probably that's got to be got to be
Aaron.
Mr. Let Go then.
Okay, so 1,000 gems, Goat Therapy. Shout out to
Goat Trophy.
what? Oh,
You said
I'm sorry,
therapy.
Goat Trophy. M Lightning 376. Thank you so much. If that's me.
South Gas Stacker says you should actually watch Jonathan and Maggie Hagerman's 60 Minutes Australia about their book into Trump regime change. Interesting. Haven't heard of that one. For one of you guys.
So fine. Hey, what's up, dude? This is the single most blackpilling event to ever happen, at least before there was hope. That is all gone now. I mean, it seems like it's low hope that we'll be able to reverse it, but maybe we'll see.
But here's the thing, guys, and I get blackpilled really easily, and I try not to do it. I try to pull myself out of the pessimism.
Mhm.
I try to see a different angle of this. I hope from the optimist angle in me is that this is so brazen and so in America's faces that it's going to cause a backlash, and it's going to get more people to start waking up and paying attention, and more people to be like, what the fuck is this? Like people who may not have been paying attention are going to see this and be like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know,
wait,
but that's my hope.
Devil's advocate for a second though, and ask you guys something, because we're only working with the information that we have.
Mhm.
We don't know what all these people know. Do
Yeah.
you think it's possible that there is some sort of internal conflict between the deep state, our government, and globalists, and whatever's going on, that it's so bad that Trump and the Republicans actually felt like this was the best option?
No,
for
absolutely
America?
fucking not. 0%
I
chance.
would say the
0%.
likelihood of that is very, very low.
0% chance.
I'm only asking.
No, it's more likely that they all like that fucking money that they get for their political campaigns.
Yeah,
I think
And
it's all the money.
love being
That's what I
they love being a congressperson. They fucking love it.
I don't
And I
even think
think-
it's. I don't think that like the blackmail side of it is anywhere near even as prevalent as just the money. It's just purely that money printer that funds their campaigns. You know,
And like I'm sure there's a lot of people that before they became a congressperson, what was their life, and now they're a member of Congress. Everybody, sucks them off everywhere they go.
Dude, Jesse, for all you guys, I don't know if you've watched JP Sears' video where he talks about MAGA influencers and basically how they're getting drawn in to being, just cuck shills for this stuff. And it's a really interesting video because he says right up front, it's not the money. Like we all, the 7K club, that's what we all figure. And when you watch that video, it's very interesting. You guys should watch it. He breaks it down because they tried to do it to him. And he's like, it's not the money, it's the access to power that gets people. And you start
being in the club,
rubbing shoulders with the famous people, that it's like it's intoxicating. It draws these people in. You know what I mean? And I think that has way more to do with it. So it's like, even if, you kick them out of Congress, like you guys say, it's like, they get shuffled around, they get another job over here. Yeah, but now they're not, they're not a congressman, they're not a senator. It's like there is actually a lot of access to power and relevancy that I think it's intoxicating for these people. I think power is access to power is one of those things that's far more prevalent than, even maybe money and blackmail. But anyway, one for you guys.
Fair on the River 6, 400 gems, Eagle.
This is okay. Katie says, it's a sad day for this nation, the beginning of the end. It makes me sad and angry to think the future my daughter will have to endure. Well, that's why we have to fight now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being a service member during a time like this is very embarrassing. Yeah, I got to talk to my active duty buddies and see what they think about this. I can tell you they got the active duty military community is pretty based, surprisingly. Which I actually was a little bit shocked last time I talked to some of my active duty buddies at how anti all of this they are. Take that, Goyam. I'm not going to read this one out because it's YouTube, but friendly fire for you guys.
Danny, what's up, my dude? Danny's the first one that texted me about this after it went through. And thanks for the super chat, my dude.
Jeff says, could this end up and I really hate to say, in a civil war? So I hear this all the time. I think it always rolls my eyes when I see people like the left versus right. You'll see this. Each side will be talking shit about like the left versus right civil war. That's not how civil wars work, guys. It's not a.
There's going to be a lot of shit talking on the internet and social media.
Guys, civil wars are the government versus a resistance group or an insurgency. That is what a civil war is. Okay, it's not two political factions that decide to go to war with each other. That's not how it works. Okay, so. But to your point, could it? Maybe eventually. I think we got a long ways to go, though. For one of you guys. Oh, this is probably for Aaron. I don't know what these are here.
No, you cannot see my ID. Oh, crap. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to you, Silver Star. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of gems. I think that's a new thing.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what gems are. I've never seen that.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of gems on my side.
For those of us out here not current or ex-military, how and why is this so bad, Israel notwithstanding? Well, I think we really deep dive covered that when we talked about potentially going to war with another country. Bays brought up great points about, hey, you accidentally get your fighter jet shot down and they can, reverse engineer your technology. There's a lot of different reasons why. Any other ones we had there? Militarily, bad idea, guys. Other than those were the main ones.
I mean, espionage too. If we're sharing data, I mean, you don't need the government to turn on us now. Like, we don't have to just worry about Israel turning on us. Anybody who's compromised in any way, like, you got to understand, the same way that we were using Compromat and like the CIA and Mossad with, putting people in positions where they're compromised and they could be blackmailed. Like, other countries could be doing that to our intelligence that has information. You know what I mean? Sensitive information.
Hopwisher says the anger is the anger this builds in me is not just for the military aspect, but that it shows that we are okay with what another country is currently doing. There's that. We have now basically just signed off on everything they do militarily, right? So like everything they're doing in Gaza and the West Bank and Golan Heights, Lebanon, that's us now. That's our military essentially that's doing that.
And what gets me the most pissed off, which I didn't reference yet, is that when we see all this stuff, like Israel's gonna, they keep getting into all these conflicts, but who's putting the boots on the ground? You know what I mean?
Us.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be us. Like they
Yep.
get into shit. It's not gonna be the IDF going in and us behind them. No, it's gonna be our kids.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like that, it's like that, Jesse. It's like, you got that buddy with you at the bar who can't fight, but he knows you can fight, Jesse. And so he's picking a fight on nonstop because he knows you're going to fucking come in there and fight his battle for him. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends would usually be a gigantic dude who's a terrible drunk, and I would be like, "Stop, dude."
Yeah. I had a buddy like that. Yeah.
Oh, Nate, did you ever see the reel where you had to have seen it? It was all over IG. I know you're a wrestling fan. Where you see Paul Bearer coming out and it's got like the Israeli flag over him. And then all, and then all of a sudden Kane's music hit. You see Kane coming out with the American flag.
Yeah. I have seen that one. Tinfoil says all we did was buy all their enemies to be our enemies now. People say now we'll have their tech, but that we were literally just talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Same idea there. Stay passive, collective, stop paying whats. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to talk about it on YouTube, but if you want to talk about
I don't want to talk about it either.
You want to talk about actually solving the problem, this right here, it would probably solve every problem we have overnight immediately. If every person in America got on board with this at once, this probably would be the immediate
Not
actual
even that.
resolution.
Just credit cards. Just credit cards.
Stop paying your credit card debt. I've heard that one. It's kind of well, we're not suggesting that on this channel, of course, but
no, it's a hypothetical.
Couple winks. You think this is a reason for what? He knew they planned this. No, I think that gets a little too far down the road. No, I think that this was coming. To your guys' point, you said, or one of you guys said earlier, this was coming no matter what. And I think that too.
It would have been interesting to hear what Charlie Kirk had to say today.
Yeah, it would. It would. Yeah.
I actually think he wouldn't have said anything because at some point they would have just gotten bore down on him so much where he would have just stopped talking.
I don't think he was ever going to publicly go against Trump.
Right?
We talked about that before, and I agree with you guys on that.
Trump. So at some point, if Trump really wants to do this, Charlie Kirk would have just stayed quiet.
He campaigned behind the scenes, and if he lost, he lost.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with you guys on that one. How many of us called our congressman before the vote? I did.
I sent the note.
It doesn't do anything. I sent the text message script to send. Hey, you says America only citizens have no allies, not Japan, not Australia. Those country leaders and military apparatuses are allied with other elites and oligarchs. This is all going according to their plan. We are on our own. I don't know. I've worked with both the Japanese people, military, and the Japanese Australian soldiers extensively. They're just like us. So I'm not going to say we should write off our allies. I'm not an isolationist that way. Personally, I don't know how you guys feel, but yeah, we currently are about to be us in Israel versus the world, and I don't like the idea behind that personally.
And we can't lose allies because of that.
Well, we are though. That's my point. It's not just going to be us; it's going to be us and them versus everyone. And no, thank you. This for you guys.
That's me, Shauna. Thank you very much. I keep wondering if this is why the U.S. isn't in the Book of Revelation.
The United States.
I have no strong or educated opinion on that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mark my words. This shit will be tied to the mass surveillance with data centers and Palantir. Just look at Gaza. I 100% agree with you on this one. This is coming for sure. It's already here. Can't we control them now? Make them do what we want. We could, but we don't. For you guys,
it's me volunteering for the libertarians. Government hates us. Yep. Yeah.
Sad irony is that Republicans will be the end of the republic. The provision of evangelical faith and politics post World War II got us here. There's a lot of truth to this right here, especially the second part. Yeah, post World War II, Schofield Bible, evangelicalism in America has been a big problem. Which I hate to say because I was evangelical and I no longer am, but it is what it is. Jeff says, I'm glad to see you all bring the light in the darkness. That's what we all need to do. Thank you. For you guys, these are more of the gems.
Oh, that is mine. Ali Son Fitner. Shout out to the gems. Thank you so much, Silver Star.
Merging militaries and intelligence. Oh boy. WTF? Well, we're here for you guys.
Hillbilly Hitman says that's a great name, dude. Hillbilly Hitman says Iran steals U.S. secrets via Israel. A future story. It's I can't even like. If we could see, if we could see every actual move that's at play right now, I think it would be very disheartening.
Yep. As the world crumbles, that's a good one.
Damn.
If you allow a government, they will proceed to, you know what? The Patriot Act did nothing. Look in the mirror tonight and find the excuses why you don't stand tomorrow. We are comfortable in our cowardice. This is true, 100% true. But I mean, it's just one of those things. How do you get individuals to stand up? It's got to be a collective movement, and it's got to be spurred on by an event. That is what launches revolutions or whatever you want to call them. But this type of event should be one. Look at Albania, right? Albania had this event. The Kushners came in and tried to destroy the island that they want to develop. And what did they do? That was their trigger event to say, nope, we are going to throw all your shit. Yeah, we're going to run you out of here.
We don't got to get into details on how they did
but again, this is part of the problem with America is like, we're so comfortable because of how good we all have it that it makes it much, much more difficult to get everyone to that place, right? Because if you have a lot to lose, you're much less likely to want to be engaged in that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
AJ says you can find out where senators and Congress. Okay, AJ. Well, we're not gonna. Hold on.
We're not doing that. No.
We're not doing that, AJ. No. Don't do that on the channel. That's a big no right there. Let's see. Washington, Mary Gliscamp Perez voted for this. Primary her ass out. I'm all for it. Yeah, she voted for it. Get rid of her. Corey says, since we are at war with the IRGC, committing acts of treason during war is punishable by firing squad. Well, times are different. All the things that we used to do, can't even talk about it anymore. How about we stop funding the Department of Defense until they can pass an audit, exclude normal pay to our soldiers, keep the funding, but everything else is funded until they can actually pass an audit. Well, I mean, it seems fine to me, but we're not going to do it, dude. They have no idea where the money goes.
They seem to be going the opposite route, and they want to push a Rubio Hegseth ticket in 2028.
Oh,
now the JD Vance and Erica Kirk one freaking burned to the ground.
Everybody support Nate's Friends Horse Rescue. Yes, thank you guys so much for those of you who donated to the nonprofit that we're working with.
Horse Rescue? What happened?
Oh no, it's a nonprofit here locally that I'm helping support. It's a horse and animal rescue that also then works with homeless veterans and veterans with PTSD to basically rescue animals, but then also get those animals get access to the animals for homeless veterans and veterans with PTSD to try to help both the people and the animals. So
that's dope.
They were very appreciative. You guys were super generous. So thank you very much for that. You guys?
Yeah, Crochet Crafts and Crime. That's a great name. It's rands, not dollars. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for keeping us updated. Hi from South Africa.
It's wild how people all over the world are so, interested in stuff like this.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the Covfefe era of American history. Yeah. Corey says, I'll say it with some money this time. We are at war with Iran, acts of treason. Okay, I can't read that again. This is my understanding during enlistment. What changed? I don't know. What did change? What changed? Like that used to be normal stuff. Like you committed treason, you were punished for treason. Now it's just like, well.
The atrazine in the water that made the frogs gay.
There could be that. Thank you, brother. Chris says, so I guess enlisting now would be a harder pill to swallow. How can I serve my country when it doesn't serve itself? Yeah, I mean, this is a tough sell right now to young. Also, yeah, to like Gen Z. Here's another problem. Gen Z is so based, and that is your demographic to join the military. Young Gen Z males are the most based. I promise you. But my kid is 16, and his friends come over, and some of the shit they say, I'll be like, whoa, dude. Like, that's a lot, right? When you're talking about like based and stuff like that. So how are you going to get them to join now? right? They're not going to sign up for this shit.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys know football is an indoctrination method for the military?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, just so y'all know that. So
Yeah, I'm
about
sure.
sports in some type of way, but football is about indoctrinating people into the military.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
it's
that
me.
makes sense.
This December, thank you very much. This December, the automatic registration for selective services takes effect. Conscientious objection is not allowed anymore. What are they planning to do with us with these two mixed together? Draft? I don't know. Nate, your volume's out.
I said, let me give you some
There-
context
there
to
you go.
that. That's not. It is accurate, right? But let's be clear because we're not here to fearmonger. Yes, mandatory and automatic registration for selective service does take effect. However, that changes nothing. I want to let you know it was already mandatory registration for selective service. All they changed was instead of waiting until you were drafted to tell you have to come, you have to you're automatically registered. So that way, when you're drafted, you have to come. So it literally changes nothing. And I know it's a fun one to fearmonger for, right? Because it's a change to the draft. But this one doesn't actually change anything. Every 18-year-old male has to register for the draft. And if you don't, you could get in trouble. Some men don't, but you would still get drafted either way.
Even if you're
Right.
only child, I thought if you're the only child, you don't have to register.
Well, there's context to this, right? There's whether you're in college, whether you're potentially
Okay.
an only child. There's some subtext. My point is the changes to making it automatic registration, you had to register anyway. And so what they're doing is basically taking away me sending in the piece of paper that says I'm registering, and they're just doing it automatically. So again, as you guys all know, as 18-year-old, when you turned 18, you were eligible to be drafted, right? We all know that. Nothing has changed there, guys. It's just now they just got rid of that part of the system. Now, why are they doing that?
Duh, because nobody's going to want to go.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it wouldn't matter if you registered or didn't register. Your ass is getting drafted if you have a social security number. So, just keep that in mind. No, we use it all the time, or no, we use it all against them. Come on, aren't we smarter? Can't we reverse this once Trump is out? It's going to be hard. I'm sure it's doable, but it's going to take Congress. It's going to take the justice system. It's going to take federal judges. It's probably going to take the president. And how long is it going to take until we have an entire united government to undo these effects? You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys think, but it seems like it's going to take a while.
It's me, Danny. Thank you, dude. It was already happening. It's just official now. Yeah, like we were saying, exactly that.
James says, this absolutely infuriates me. Unacceptable. Every individual who voted this needs to be recalled. Stat, on a lighter note, happy birthday. Welcome to the 40 Club. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes.
Oh, you turning 40?
Yeah, it's my big 4-0.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's shit. What is that?
We're
Is that-
celebrating
we
it. Hey,
we
the
leave
reason I'm so jammed
we leave
today is because
tomorrow.
I got a flight for Nate's birthday in Vegas. I'm taking off at 12:45 tomorrow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yes, that's tomorrow.
That's why I look so fucking tan, son.
Yeah, Jesse will be there. Oh yeah, I told the guys, or I told the chat yesterday, Jesse, since we're gonna have everybody out there, we'll have me, you, Dan from Heavy Duty Country, Jake Shields, a bunch of people. If we aren't too hungover Saturday and try to do like a group live stream, I don't know if we'll be able to.
We should definitely.
We should
attempt to
try
do
though.
that.
Yeah, we should try. Okay. Yes. Straight to the bin. Thank you. Aaron says, "Hey Nate, AA Ron here. Love the channel. Got an off-topic question for you. How does a person make a profit from their labor? We make an equal exchange for our labor for money. Where is the profit? Are we owned by the government?" Yeah, this one's kind of deep here. Make a profit from their labor. Well, I would say, and I hate to say this, but if you are selling your labor, you're not going to make a profit, homie. That's not where profits come from. Labor is the worker bee's wage.
Mm-hmm. You got to be
If
able
you
to
wanna
scale. If
You
can't
got to be able to
you're not gonna
scale.
make the
You got to
money.
make your own product, business owner, right? I mean, that's where the profit comes from. So, a lot of people don't like hearing that, but if you are just selling your labor, which I did for most of my life, you're going to be very limited in your profit or income. It's just the way it is, right? Even like, for example, you could be a neurosurgeon making $700,000 a year. You're making jack shit compared to the guy who owns a t-shirt company. that's got no college degree that just happened to become fairly successful, right? So
Yep.
if you're selling your labor, you're really not gonna.
You got to be able to make money while you sleep.
Yeah, there you go. So,
And
you guys,
And just so you guys know, I looked it up. 362 members of Congress
What-
are them, the APAC people.
Butterfly, thank you very much. What can the average citizen do? They're untrustworthy synagogue. I'm not going to say that out loud. And by the way, my message keeps getting censored.
Well,
I had
you're
to
talking
delete-
about some things that are.
Yeah, that particular phrase right there. I'm surprised that got
Yeah.
through.
It's the reverse SOS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
50 states and one greatest ally. Yeah, there we go.
No. One greatest partner.
Yeah, one greatest partner. My bad. Yeah, good point. I talk about it all the time. They're not an ally, legitimately not an ally.
Yeah, not no
right?
more.
Well, they weren't ever. A lot of people don't know that. The United States and Israel. You know what's crazy? As I was on a live stream, I was doing a live stream with Ian Carroll, maybe Jesse. Jesse, I think you were on that live stream too when I brought that up.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey,
I know
just
you're
so
the one
know,
who told me that. And
I'm like, just so you guys know, Israel's not an American ally. And Ian was like, wait, what? And I'm like, no, really? Like,
Yeah, officially.
Google it. And he Googles it on stream. And he's like, has America ever had any treaty of alliance with Israel? And it's like, no, block. And you're just
first,
like,
I was
you
definitely
realize
on
you're like,
that.
oh
Yeah.
shit, they're literally not our ally,
Mhm.
like objectively. But we just think about how crazy that is. We just merged our military with a country that is not even an ally with the United States.
Now
is not even under any kind of legal agreement to like
None.
come to our aid.
With
None.
a country that stole our nukes.
They have no, Jesse's point, they have no requirement to come to the United States aid if we are attacked. But we're funding their military.
they're our greatest daddy.
Our greatest grifters.
Yeah. How does this affect martial law and the ability for the military to overthrow? Well,
That part.
okay. First
that
of all,
part-
here's what I want to say. For those of you who think that the military is going to overthrow a tyrannical government, homie, the military is part of the tyrannical government.
They are it. Yes.
And I can promise you guys, we do not want to be in a situation where the military takes control of the country. I know a
No.
lot of people said that has not gone well
And I've been
pretty
saying
much
it-
anywhere.
I've been saying this since December, and everybody thought I was crazy, but maybe they'll start like realizing now. But I was saying since September that ICE was not really here for the immigrants. I think that ICE was here for us, and that they brought the immigrants in to justify it. So when this shit went
A lot of
on,
people think
that's
that.
happening right now, if people did get rowdy, that they already have that extra enforcement in the streets
Mhm.
to round people up and do what they got to do.
Yes.
Francis P. Yoki got completely vindicated. Excuse me. America is the reason why European people are suffering since the last 80 years. Now they are bragging. I don't know. I don't know if you can blame America solely for Europe's issues, but Ryan the guy says we should have never let a foreign country buy land here. What the F is that about? I agree with you 100% on that one too. Yeah, all about that.
And money management firms.
That too.
The land should be owned by the citizens.
Please ask all influencers you know to make videos. I'm thinking about doing this, reading the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights as the Constitution that needs to be done. I'm thinking about doing this actually on a live stream. Is
That
just
makes a
reading it.
lot of
I was
sense.
actually thinking about doing that too.
Yeah,
That'd
'cause
be interesting.
yeah. Good comment. Joe says, you in the old days, they had quaint expressions for what you saw today, like lobbyists, special interests. And so after today, just put votes on sale on Craigslist or eBay. Votes for sale. Just say, I mean, it's true. They did. They used to try to lie to us, right? And gaslight us a little bit. They don't even try anymore.
No.
They're just like, stuff
They
your
did, like
face in
think
it.
about how hard they tried to work for consensus on invading Iraq versus like
That's
now.
my point. They they built an entire elaborate storyline behind it, Now they're just like, fuck you guys, watch this. Merge the military. How long until they show up at our homes and remove us? Watch them. You know what? Well, I mean, that was Mr. Letgo's point, is they ain't American. So they don't have to necessarily abide by the American Constitution.
But that means we can. Well, let me be quiet. Let me shut up.
Yeah, that was probably a good one to stop.
Yeah.
I know where that one was going.
I know, right?
Keith says they already set up the surveillance infrastructure with the Patriot Act. True, AI is going to fine tune it and identify all who oppose anything the government do with our greatest ally and be labeled a you know what. Well, the flock cameras are going to help and assist with that. And yeah, the surveillance state and Palantir stuff scares me because I've been using Palantir for a long time. For those of you who don't know how it started, it was developed for the CIA and special operations. It's literally the software we use to target people in war. And so, yeah, I'm very, very concerned that that's being used on American citizens now, which it is. For one of you guys.
Fuzzy Balls. What's up, dude? Russia is freaking awesome. No LTQ plus religion and no GMOs and no fluoride in the water. America, I didn't know America hated me this much.
Well,
I mean,
all right. I don't think Russia is anywhere near as bad as people try to make it out to be. I've seen Moscow and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty nice.
I don't think
not
any,
that.
yeah.
But it's that way around, like with everything, right? It's the Middle East is that way too, and then you go to Dubai and you're like, holy shit, this is nice. You know, so
I've heard China is incredible.
China's super nice. Taiwan's like all these places that we're supposed to believe are like third world shitholes. Now there are some third world shitholes. Trust me, I've been to them, but a lot of these are not, and I don't think Russia is one of them. With all the talk about the immediate effects, it's important to remember we have more votes on the schedule. Conscription in December. Is conscription is coming up in December? I haven't heard about that. I need to look that up. If that's true, boys. If you guys know what conscription is, it's basically forced service into the military. So like Korea, Japan, a lot of other countries, you are required to do 1 to 2 years of service in the military. Everybody does. Israel, when you're 18. So you turn 18, you join the military. Literally everyone.
See, but that actually has the potential to be a good thing if
100%.
the government is acting in our interest. I've always
100%.
believed that.
Yeah.
It works out very, very well for a lot of countries. Would it work in a country with 350 million people? Could we even facilitate that many people in the military? Probably not. But for smaller countries, it does work. It does work pretty well. And also it like establishes discipline, like a lot of these things that is not bad for young people to have. So
Yeah.
The military in itself is a good thing.
In LDS, the Mormons, they have like the same age, 2 years. They all go on a mission and they go somewhere in the world. They don't get, they get to like request, and they work as basically like Mormon missionaries, and they go out and they go door to door to sell to. They come back. That's why they're the best salespeople on earth, dude. It's because they went from 18 to 20 out in the world trying to sell a religion to people for 2 straight years with no other purpose. They're hustlers and they're extremely good at it, dude.
I don't think it's a bad thing. And it's like, it's not even just about the military. If you were to just take like 18-year-olds and be like, you got to do construction for a year, you got to join the military for a year, you got to do like a job that's going to be, you know, not like hard manual labor, but it's going to give you some discipline.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think we could facilitate how many kids turn 18 every year in America. I mean, that might be something for Chat GPT, but
yeah, that's
that could
an
be
AI
if it's hundreds of thousands of people, it's like we probably wouldn't be able to even facilitate that in the military. It'd be too much. But again, I don't know. I have to look into it. How many people or how many who voted yes without reading Section 219 and also said nothing about Christian clerics who were spit on, nuns kicked out of the pavement, congregations are being stomped out of their homes over there? I would bet a majority of the people in Congress did not read the bill.
Agree.
They just said, yep, I'm Republican. Trump will make sure he primaries my ass if I don't vote yes, so I'm going to vote yes.
And the ones who did ask about it, they got like the break. They're like, oh, all it means is that they fill in the blanks on whatever. They're all right.
Yep.
Where do you think the bill was written?
Geez, I wonder. Yeah.
That one, I think we all know the easy answer to. Remember the exploding pagers? I think we moved on too quickly from how crazy that was. There's a golden one in the White House, if you guys didn't know about that.
And Nate, it's 3.8 million Americans a year turning 18.
bro, there's only like 1 million people in the military total. So no, we couldn't do 3.5 million privates in the military every year. That would be unsustainable.
That would be terrible.
And there's a lot of retards that turn 18.
Right.
Yeah,
They don't know what the
that
hell
wouldn't
to
be-
do. You got to train these damn people.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
a
wouldn't
lot.
be sustainable at all. We wouldn't be able, we'd have to triple the military budget for that. And we're already spending too much. Currently active duty 11 Bravo at JBLM, my old stomping ground. Spent almost my entire career there. If you're currently an 11 Bravo at JBLM, my advice would be, if you want to stay in the military, look at special operations, my friend, because the grass is definitely greener on the other side, especially since you're already an infantryman. Consider trying out for Special Forces Ranger Battalion. You've got 1st Special Forces Group there. You've got, was it 75th is there, right? So that would be my advice to you, homie. If you're planning on staying in. Otherwise, just get out. But you're already doing big things as an infantryman, so proud of you. There's never an Austrian painter around when you need one. Okay, that's all right for you guys.
Fuzzy balls. Washington D.C. is run by Satanists. Just a real fact. There certainly seems to be a lot of those running around in elite circles.
Mm-hmm. For you guys, from Bobby.
That's me also. Pray for judicial review. That the Supreme Court breaks this up. Happy birthday, Nate. Yeah, I mean, we can
Thank you,
hope,
Bobby.
but I honestly, I don't know a lot about how the process goes from here.
I'm not even sure this is something the Supreme Court can tackle because it's so here's the way. And again, I don't know for sure, but I would assume the executive actions are often struck down by the president. However, typically bills that are pushed through by Congress are the will of the people. And even though we didn't vote on them, that's why we vote in our local congressmen to go
They're
vote on
representatives.
bills.
Okay.
They represent us. So if our representatives who we elected vote on a bill to push through, I don't think the Supreme Court necessarily can step in and overturn this entire bill in its function. Again,
So
this
voting
is super
actually-
complicated, but
So this is an example of how voting doesn't work. Look what voting did for us to get them to vote.
well, it's supposed to work because again, you are electing people who are representing your best interest. The problem is now they used to do this, right? Like the founding fathers, they used to actually vote through things that were in their constituents' best interest, but now they're not. Most of them don't do that. They don't give a shit about their constituents. So
and
the
if you run
system,
through the incentive,
ideologically, it should work. But Jesse, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because if you run through the incentive, the whole reason capitalism works, at least till now, is, and obviously there are some issues there, but is that people operate out of their own self-interest. And before, if you do something that's this unpopular, you're going to get voted out. But in the current system, you need the money and you need the support of the party more than you need the people who are voting to be happy with your job performance.
The Thomas Massey election.
Yep.
Perfect
Because you're
example
going
of
to
what
lose
Jesse just
anyway.
Rigged. I think it's rigged, dude. I don't know
You're
how.
gonna lose a job, you're gonna
but
lose
to your point,
everything.
Jesse, he is crazy popular.
Yeah.
And he lost because his opponent had more money and the support of the establishment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even that, it didn't make sense though, because Thomas Massey
Nah, the
was in
numbers
office
didn't
for
make
like 14 years, and I looked at all the analytics, like for
I
the
think it's rigged,
primary
too.
vote totals.
Yeah.
For the primary vote totals, Massey was right about his average. He got like between 46 and 48,000 votes. The people that ran against him usually got between 18 and 20,000.
This dude got
And
100,000.
this fucking guy, he's got like 56, 58,000 votes. Like literally.
No, he got
of what the regular was.
40,000 more than Thomas Massey did in the
No,
previous
it
election.
was only about 10,000 more than Massey. But
No.
it was,
No.
Oh,
In the previous election that Thomas Massey won with 58,000 votes, he got 40,000 more than Thomas Massey did in the previous election.
Hey, you want to know how I
He
interpret
got
that?
so 40,000 extra fucking votes somehow showed up in that district that weren't there.
Oh yeah,
before.
no, that's what I was saying. That
Yeah.
Massey's numbers were consistent, but that
Right.
the other guy.
That's my
why
point.
I said because he got.
So where'd all those-
usually
where'd those
it's
40 extra
18,000, this
thousand
was
fucking votes
58,000,
come from?
That's why I
Yeah.
said it was tripled. I just worded it different.
Votes
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
like streams in music. Do they really matter, or how do you
Well,
like
this
count
is
them? Or,
the
you know?
important thing to take
the
away
same
from that
thing.
is first of all, obviously in a digital age, numbers on a screen, you know what I mean? And so it's
Yeah,
like,
it's just streams.
and if you look at everything that's happened, if someone's in charge and is in control of the vote counts, then maybe the way Trump, ensured that he would be able to win this time is he made promises to people who are actually in charge of the vote counts. And then you fast forward and Thomas Massey. And then the reason they would do it so egregiously is because so that the insiders who are not the people who understand that is impossible, they know, they're like, oh, so they just like we can't go against them. And it doesn't matter what the people like they're setting an example. They're like, go against us and you won't win no matter what. You know what I mean?
And dude, I'll never
more
forget
gems for Aaron.
2020.
Yeah, shout out to Serene, 100 gems. High five. Thank you.
Nadia says this December the automatic elective service takes effect. Oh, he did this one already, right?
No, this is a new one.
No, that's new,
Oh.
though, I think.
No.
Oh, okay. But we were just talking about it. Conscientious objection no longer allowed. Now, this is actually a big deal. Conscientious objection not being allowed. I don't know if this is true or not. That's a big change. What are they planning to do with these two? You know what? So again, automatic selective service doesn't change anything. But conscientious objection not being allowed. That's always been a fuzzy one when it comes to the draft too, right? The draft, typically, you can't be a conscientious objector when you are drafted. So you look at Muhammad Ali as a famous example of that. He said he was a conscientious objector. They said, we don't care. We're putting you in prison. So if you are drafted, that is typically where they don't allow that, which is pretty fucked up if you think about. But
Is it better to go to prison than to go just like in this situation?
Than to go to war? Well, no, I don't. Well, it depends, right? Because a lot of you have to also consider a lot of people don't really understand that the percentage of soldiers, let's say, that are actually fighting the war, and I mean kinetically fighting the war in infantry, artillery, special operations is like 5% of the entire military. So if you're drafted, you're much more likely to go work a supply job, a logistics job, something like that, than you are to be on the front lines. Not to say that they didn't send troops on the front lines, but actually there was more, I believe there was more volunteer soldiers in Vietnam killed than there were draftees. So, however, there is an aside to this. If you join the military willingly instead of being drafted, then you can choose your job, which means you can choose a non-combat related job, which means you would never see combat. So,
yeah, you could be a mechanic. You could.
So I would suggest to all you out there, if there is another world war and they are drafting all of our kids, it is not a bad idea for your kid to volunteer and sign up and choose a job that's a non-combat role. That
safer. Makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that.
Just if you're
Muhammad Ali,
there's being strategic.
Yeah. With Muhammad Ali, there's a lot of other things at play too, because there was such a huge.
Well, they were making an example out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, they were going to draft him so that if he went and fought, then everybody else are like, well, geez, if Muhammad Ali went and fought, but he was like, no, and so they're like, what do you mean no? And so they had to, it's like they had to do the inverse example.
Yep. And if the Democrats had the seat of power currently, they'd sell us out the same. Yeah, you're probably right. We need a libertarian revolution with a resolution on independence. Yeah, not a lot of people are libertarians, though. I lean that way. I'm not a full libertarian, though. Hate to disagree with you on this one, Nate, but I don't believe we are voting our way out of this one. Again, I've tried to clear up what I said. And my point was not that we are going to change everything through our voting system. I don't believe that. It is, I want to take away employment from the people who voted yes. I want to punish them financially, personally. You know what I mean? That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I
voting them out.
That 100%. I was just looking at the systematic aspect of it.
Even if that means, let's say, Dan Crenshaw's seat, right? The guy who replaced Dan Crenshaw is just as big of a piece of shit neocon as he is, but at least we got rid of him, right? So that's my point with that.
That was a big visible victory too, where it's like,
right, exactly. We didn't get anything better voting wise by the replacement, but this you guys.
MTN Star Studio, thank you very much. Says minimize tribal supremacy, nepotism, MTSN. I'm not sure what that is. Nepo. Transparent ranked voting, term limits, some simple solutions towards improvements.
Term limits a big one.
All that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, term limits. We've been talking about that.
I don't know about term limits. Look at Mitch McConnell. He's doing a great job, dude.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, for you guys.
This one's me. Dump's whole agenda has been based on WWE lies and chaos. This is America, not dumb WWE. I mean, one thing I was talking about today was like, just imagine if because I was talking about some like the Charlie Kirk thing, and I'm like, let's just say hypothetically that he was alive. Imagine how much money he could make as an individual person that faces no prosecution, no matter what, during the Trump administration as an insider, because they're all just robbing with both hands, dude.
Yeah. We need to stop paying taxes. I think this would, if you could get all Americans to do it, I think this would this would probably solve pretty much every problem, because they'd have
Too many people would be afraid because there's a certain demographic or
Yeah,
group
of course.
people that would all go to jail, and another demographic that won't go to jail. And
that's a good
people are
point.
afraid to go to jail because they're going to lose everything. And they're like, oh my God, what if it's me that go to jail? Like
That's true.
I think the president will come out and say, okay, I see what y'all are doing. So this is what we're going to do. This amount of y'all are going to go to jail, and the rest of y'all are not going to go to jail because there's not enough room in the jail. But we're going to fill all the jails up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then y'all going to go to jail, and the rest of the people aren't going to go to jail, and we can't do nothing about it. So y'all are good, but some of y'all going to go to jail.
Yeah. DJT's mentor, Roy Cohn, Trump hung out with him a lot when he was young and handsome. Possibility Trump is in the files with, scandalous enough to commit, to cover up. Maybe. I mean, I think he's implicated, but again, I don't fucking know, man. You know what I mean?
How much money has his family brought in so far this administration?
$3 billion.
I think it was 6.
It's
No, I think
And-
that's
and
what,
it's
I think
crazy,
that's that, well, actually, I think you're right. The family.
Yeah, the family.
Yeah.
You got to remember, his sons are like in the runnings for all these giant contracts with the DOD.
That's just the money you know about, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's for you guys.
Yeah, this is me. Bush lied, Obama lied, Trump lied, Biden lied, Trump lied again. The only thing that is guaranteed
True.
is that we will be worse off every 4 years.
That's true, sadly. The best way to simply not pay taxes and not file taxes, no taxation without representation. I mean, you could try it. You guys are brave. I'm not brave enough to do it. I wish I was.
Dude. I'm always paying my taxes because
Yeah.
it's the easiest way for them to come get me.
Yeah. The only thing that would affect these people would be to affect the power of their wallets. That's the only way they feel. So I do like that. I do like the idea of hitting them in the wallets. Less 1984, more 1776. Nate, you're saying the answer answer loud and clear, and these guys can't say it. We have to vote Democrat in the midterms to get rid of MAGA and then decide what to do in 2028. Look, for me, it's not about putting Democrats in power. Like I said, it's about punishing the dipshit Republicans who voted yes. And so I'm all board on that. I know the guys aren't necessarily on board with that, but I mean, everybody's got their own opinions. So on the day the senators vote, get a crowd and microphone out in front and use the voices of the people. You can't wait till after. There is no after a vote with your voices. Stand, speak loudly as one. That goes into Aaron's point of what he was saying of getting active and getting involved. It's for you guys.
Vote them out and then become a lobbyist. This nation is fucked. Yeah. The problem though is that the way the entire lobbying system works is through corruption and bribery.
Right.
And so, and like the established lobbying places, they're not going to hire you. And if you somehow get in there, you're just going to all of a sudden be faced with like, wait a minute, how much are they going to fucking pay us for this, dude?
I think there's a whole lot of if you can't beat them, join them. That goes.
That's how it always ends up playing out, dude.
I think you're right, Baze. I think a lot of politicians get in for the right reasons.
Yes,
and then they see like this is fucked.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, this is what this is. Well, I might as well grift and make money while I'm here too, baby.
I mean,
and it's like once you realize if you get any type of job, right? I sold cars before, right? And then at some point, I'm like, damn, I'm not making as much money as I think I need to make, or this person is making more money. If there was an avenue for me to do this, and then I make 10 times more money than I'm making now, and then I just have to do this and do that, and it's not against the law, it's just something that you can do as an option, I'm going to do it. So I think, and it goes back to what I was saying, voting sounds good, but like you guys are saying, once you get in there, you're going to get lobbied to death.
Yeah.
And Obama said it, he said it one time when he was like giving a speech or talking or something. And he's like, people, when they get into office, they become the president. They think that they're going to be able to do this stuff. And then they find out that the stage is already set. And it's like, all right, what's the one thing that you really want? Like they get money. One thing.
Yeah.
The money is the only thing that changes everything. Like, give me some money and I'll say yes.
Well, I think what happens too, and a lot of them talk about this, is like Baze was saying, they get in there and then all of a sudden the three guys with black suits walk
Yeah.
into the presidential office and go, "Hey, sir, just so you know, you're not going to do any of that."
And Putin
And he
Putin
goes-
has said
and he
that
goes-
a million times.
And he goes, yes, I am. And they go, no.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, no,
you're
they
not.
say, what's the one thing that you
Yeah.
really, really want?
Yeah,
Like,
you can have that. You're not getting the rest. Or
Yeah.
you can, or hey, you see JFK's portrait up there? So just a little advice. That's the
Yeah.
way this goes,
Dang.
for you guys.
it's Star Studio again. Thank you very much. Ian Carroll, Buyer App and Web, software brilliancy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I said it before with the Buyer App, and I mean, I plug that shit all the time. I use Web for my research. It's great.
Yep. So do
And the Buyer App is amazing.
we the people, or why don't we the people make petitions to change the law? Are the people, not the government? We elect officials, an extension of us. Let's be the change we want to see. We have to come together. Well, but here's the thing, Aaron, is that's why we elect representatives, for them to make changes to the law on behalf of the American people. But then, to our point, they don't. They just go in there and go, "Nah, I'm just here to make cash instead."
See, we the people don't have enough money to support that person that we put into office to take care of them. And once they realize that they're going behind on their bills because of A, B, and C, now this other group comes in and says, "Oh, we'll help you." The American people can't do that.
And it's just so much money because even if you put a wealthy person in there, like, oh, this person, dude, that guy's worth 120 mil, dude. He's not going to take anyone's money. And it's like, oh, he's not. They're like, how about you don't want
How
another
about-
60 on this, dude?
Yeah,
He's
how
on
about we
one- hey,
double
sick-
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
How
about we
about you
double
double
that,
it with
dude?
one stroke of the pen? Like, there's always a number that's going to
It's
get.
like,
always a number.
how would you like all your kids to have 120 million too? You know?
Yeah,
Right.
dude. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is money. Dark money super PAC support by any of them means they don't work for us in our interest. Left, right, funded by the same pimps. Dude, this is why I want lobbying out of politics. I want
Yes.
corporate lobbying out. I want like the fact that even FARA, the fact that
Yeah.
exists to me is like, no, FARA shouldn't even exist because we shouldn't have. I don't care if you're registering. You shouldn't be able to fucking pump a
Yeah,
dollar
exactly.
into
It's
our
not about
election
announcing that
systems.
you're here. It's the fact that you're here.
Yeah, right.
And
Wha-
Israel
what?
had the loophole for FARA, and now that's how we ended up here. And now there
Yep.
are partners.
Look, just so you guys know, if you didn't hear this, as of this week, it's 110 now. So,
Yeah.
is that me? It was either Myanmar or Malaysia, I believe, that just became number 110. So, there's that. The USG is set up systematically to do what it's doing. You can't really change it, not by engaging the system. Anyway, it's actually not set up that way. And actually, most of what's going on is breaking the Constitution, and it's actually illegal, to be honest. Let's see. Outsider says, "What happens when you get an IDF general as Secretary of War?" Well, I mean, we could get one, I guess.
I read that
What
earlier
hap-
and I was
what
like,
happens-
oh my God.
But you guys got to realize with the way that this bill works, all right, the person, the head of the Department of War, picks the facilitator that organizes all this stuff that's going on. So that
True.
means that Pete Hegseth is going to be assigning whoever that's going to
Oh, God.
facilitate all the shit going on with this
Oh,
collaboration.
fuck, dude.
Hey, I wonder how he's going
And-
to. I wonder what the decision criteria is for that.
Oh my god!
and not
dude.
only that, but a lot of the decisions that they make are decisions that used to have to go through Congress, and now
Yeah.
they just get to bypass it.
God, dude.
That's what I said. You guys have no idea how bad it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like this is the can of worms, right? It's like we've probably talked to about 5 of 100 things that are going to happen from this. Tyranny level type of laws must be escalated to the judicial branch. Not anymore. Our system is designed to prevent acts of tyranny. Well, yeah. For one of you guys,
Yep, vote them all out. Star Studio, 100% right.
Nate, these guys are tap dancing around facts. No, they just have different opinion than me, man. Hold their feet to the fire. Yeah, look. My ideas is not necessarily correct. My idea is just a little bit scorched earth, which is fuck these people. I want to see them lose their jobs, and that doesn't matter to me.
I
how
just
that
want to
happens.
see them all lose their jobs. I want to see the
Yeah.
Democrats lose them too.
Yeah. So let's keep moving here.
Fuzzy balls. Nate
there
is
you go.
naive because the whole thing is orchestrated from dark forces, and both parties are told what to do by the same oligarchs. It's a uniparty.
That's what I'm saying. It's all
yeah.
wrestling, bro. It's wrestling.
I'm definitely naive. I didn't work at some of the highest levels of the government that you've never had any idea or access to. But yes, Nate is definitely naive to how the system works. Good take, buddy.
Oh,
Well done on that one. All right, let's keep moving. My favorite way of spelling trees, fucking idiots sometimes, is tree soon. Time to start your own counter-Zionist party. I do well. I mean, that's kind of what America First is. If you make some universal health care one of your policies, then you would have the election in the bag. That's kind of like what this populism movement sort of all has in common, though, right?
Mhm.
Is sort of the anti-Z word. That's sort of like that. Is sort of uniting both sides at the moment, but
It's good when anything that can make both sides feel like we're fighting the same fight is a good
yeah.
thing usually.
Yep. All right. The both sides things has its place, but now the Republican Party, the Rep Party, has sold out to Trump and is complicit in burning down our institutions and rights. Dems have issues, but most centrist Dems are actually looking to govern. See, I disagree with you completely on this. I think centrist Dems are actually just as bad as MAGA. I think it's the progressive Democrats that, while I don't agree with everything they believe, I think they're the ones that are actually fighting against exactly what we talked about. I think the centrism, even as an independent, this is one of those weird things. Like, Jesse, as an independent, do you consider yourself a centrist? I don't consider myself a centrist as an independent. I just consider myself someone that has a broad range of opinions across the political spectrum all over the place as an independent. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I don't know what you think about that, but like
totally that. And it's like the way that I choose. Oh, sorry. You got like,
no,
you
you're
got
good.
crossed up. Like I could, yeah. I was saying the way I choose is usually less about policies and more about things that someone does that demonstrate that they're kind of running their own show based on principles as opposed to other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If a Democrat gets voted in and makes the country even worse, then the Republicans will use it as a propaganda campaign. They did. That's
what
how
happens
Trump got
every year.
elected in 2024. That's literally
Every
how
year
he got elected.
it happens.
And that's how Trump got elected both times. And that's
Yeah.
how Obama got elected, by the way.
That's how Obama
got elected because George Bush
Was so
caused
stupid.
2 wars and a financial crisis,
Mhm.
right? So, to your guy, yeah, I mean, this is the pendulum, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just back and forth and back. And I
Think
think
about
that's the way
it,
it's designed, right? The uniparty's designed to function
Yeah.
that way.
And think about it. A year after 9/11, George Bush had like the highest approval rating of any president in history.
It was like 80-something%, I think.
Because
I
the
think it was in the
circumstances
90s,
made
yeah.
everybody remember, oh shit, we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. The problem is 50-year-olds who are still victim to the slop of mainstream media. That's how Massey got outed. I don't think change is coming soon. Yeah, I think this is a problem on both the left and the right, right? The people that are only ingesting Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and that's all they intake. I mean, they're all propaganda networks. It's
Yeah.
propaganda for the left. It's the propaganda for the right. So, I don't know. Anyone in the government who voted for this gets old yellered. That's a good term. We can say that one freely. The U.S. is where it's at because many idiots voted Republican. Okay. Next for you guys.
I think that's me, but I lost my spot. There we go. Lady, thank you very much. F and vote libertarian, less government, less war, less corruption. Let's just all write in Massey if he doesn't run. Literally all, generally speaking, if the policy is smaller government, less invasive, I'm like, yep, that.
Yeah. And that's why I do lean libertarian pretty hard on a lot of issues. Is exactly that. Joe says, to jump on what the hosts are saying, if there are real world penalties from politicians, they will recycle through the system. Meanwhile, real people are dying, homeless veterans, service members, just saying. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that quite a bit. Thank you, Joe. We are not voting our way out of this, right? Well, we can't talk about the alternatives on YouTube. So NDS is quietly moving government infrastructure into the executive branch. That's there's a term for that. Consolidation of power into one sector of the government. It starts with the letter F, but people get upset when you talk about that word. Fascism. If voting worked,
I knew that's what he was talking about. You guys.
If voting worked, they wouldn't let us do it. This is fair. This is a great point.
That is a great point, dude.
This is a great quote, and you're 100% right.
Yeah.
For one of you guys. Oh
yeah,
yes,
Steve, what's up, man? Thank you very much. And welcome to the membership anniversary. Glad to be here with the boys. Jesse, I sent you an email. X said you need to update your settings to receive messages. That was my subject line also. Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know how X works.
Okay, I will check that out. Thank you for letting me know. Fuzzy Balls, I refuse to vote for any party led by Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi. It's fair.
Yeah. Well, they're just as bad, right? That's blue MAGA.
Blue
Schumer.
MAGA.
Oh yeah, that's what I call them. Schumer, Jeffries, Booker, Newsom. It's all the uniparty, dude. That's why they all support the war. All of them.
Star Studio again. Thank you very much. System changes. Looking for a few good apples like Bobby Fischer was searching for. Accountability of responsibility. Solutions thinking.
Okay. National work stoppage could crash the markets and they would come around real quick. Problem is, a great idea until people that don't have any money don't go to work and then they don't have any food. And so they have to go to work. So
Gotta start growing our own. Get those microgreens grown.
if they can take our military, they can take our constitution and civil rights. What's going to stop them? Maybe they'll keep Trump in office forever. Well, I don't think he's got a lot left in the tank, to be honest with you. Regardless, he's pretty old. APAC YouTube channel just posted. They have their own YouTube channel. What? Just posted a short of their victory in our effing faces, how much they won. And I bet they're going to be bragging about this. Yep. From this, they're rubbing our face. APAC has a YouTube channel. Did you guys know about
Wow.
No.
I hope they don't get any views.
Was that like a joke for Ben Shapiro or
that?
something?
No, I think he's serious. Hold on. Does APAC have their own YouTube channel? I don't know. We'll look into that. That would be. Oh, they do.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They do. It's right here. Holy shit. I'll pull
It's
it up.
wild.
I mean, they flexed on us after Massey too.
Let's see. Pull them over here. Yeah, this is their YouTube channel.
Motherfuckers.
Look at this.
Oh, Massey right there.
Oh my god. Ugh, gross. Let's get that off the screen, huh? Let's get that off the screen. Didn't know that. Well, we learned something today. APAC has a YouTube channel. If Vance votes no when the bill hits the Senate, this may be his only chance of redemption. Ooh. Let's think about that, guys. Let's think about a situation where this goes to the Senate and he's the tie-breaking vote and JD Vance votes no. What do we think about that?
That would be crazy.
That would actually give him a shot for 2028.
I think it might. He's
Yeah.
making that pivot. But would it all but to your guys' WWE point, what if that was the entire point the entire time?
Dude, if that what I mean,
And
then
sets
they
him up
win.
to usher
Like,
in
hey, then I
surveillance
bought
state.
it, dude. Then I bought the kayfabe, dude.
That's what I mean. What if it's all kayfabe?
Just
Set him
sit
up to
back
be
and
the
enjoy the
tie-breaking
show.
vote?
Yeah.
Holy
Just sit back and enjoy the
shit.
show.
That would be so crazy.
If he did that and then like went on Rogan, he's all, that's why I smacked it down. I smacked
Yeah,
that bill
yeah.
down. I'd be like, damn, dude.
It would be so hard for me to be like, nah, this is all fake. Because I'd have to be like, this is amazing that he did
Yeah.
this. But then I'd have to do all these mental gymnastics to make it WWE kayfabe.
Yeah, you're like, God, doesn't he? He has a lot of connections to Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel's like, fuck, man, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't think we're going to see that, but that
Yeah,
would
me
be
either.
wild. Missing the point, day one in office, they're calling donors. They're beholden to the donors. Yeah, this is true. This is true. For you guys,
Treadhead valiantly, thank you very much. Spitballing, what if we require politicians to go through training similar to military doctors and it would vet scumbags? I mean,
I don't think it would vet scumbags, though. Unfortunately, I just think politics just attracts because
yes.
politics is power, and I think power just attracts people who want power.
Scumbags.
It just attracts the worst type of people, I think.
Yeah.
Vote out the traitors. Find a good and honest charity that serves your community. Deduct donations for taxes. I like that idea. For you guys,
Fuzzy Balls, if the amount of non-voters goes above 60%, then the elite will panic because someone can come in as a third party and win. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. But let's just get that third party in and win before they know that there's a problem.
yeah. Another one. Is this you, Jess?
Yeah. Learn Espanol Musica. Thank you very much. What happened today might piss off the Houthis enough to choose the Bab el Men did straight. Yeah.
Straight him and Dobb. Yeah, they're saying they're going to do it. So for those of you guys who don't know,
I heard about this.
Houthis are talking about shutting down the Strait of Mandab, which is another 10% of the world's oil supply that comes through there. So not great.
That is what they call. This is like the actual. They're like the noose is tightening. Like that's what that would
bad.
be.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. The community model centers around food and farms. Get to know a local farmer. Better yet, get some livestock and start doing it yourself. 100%. Luckily, I live in a farming community, and my buddy Brian, who has been on the show doing the ballistics testing, he's got a giant farm. So we try to do our best with that, but that is a good thing to do. The response has to be multi-pronged: vote, organize local, use your channels, contribute with time, gardens, effort, run for local office. Change starts with our communities. Agree. We have to engage. I think this is great. Great comment overall. This hit on a lot of points that we all made today. The Haunted Kiwi says the oppressed are allowed once a few years to decide which. This is a great quote. The oppressed are allowed once every few years to decide which particular representatives of the oppressing class are to represent them and repress them in Parliament.
That's
Lenin,
what I'm saying.
State of Resolution. That is a very good quote, even if it's from Lenin, right? That's a good quote.
We sit around just waiting on somebody else to come and oppress us. That's what I'm saying.
Nurse Kate says, thank you so much for your bravery, guys. Sincerely, not Benny Johnson's wife.
That's an inside joke. Yeah.
Longtime sub of literally all you guys on a secondary account. I logged in. You guys are nuked. Yeah, we were. We got nuked from orbit about an hour into the show. It's fine. For one of you guys.
This is me. Yep. Thank you, Bobby. Center right, center left, and independents need to form another Tea Party movement, but bigger than the 2009 version. Massey could lead it.
Maybe this is it. Maybe it is this. Maybe it's center, conservative and liberal independents that could do that.
Yeah.
Good idea, Bobby. America will be first again. I hope so, man. I hope we grab our balls and we figure it out together.
First again.
Man, if we did that Tea Party thing, what would the right name, because I thought Tea Party was such great branding back then. I was like, I don't know what you would even call it. It's like something that captures what America's supposed to be. That's why the Tea Party was such a good brand is, it's like, I don't know. Think on that. We could come back to it.
Yep. These ones are for Aaron for sure, because they're gems.
Floating heart 100. I
don't know what these gems are.
I don't know. Shout out to them though.
There's something. Hey Nate, I'm a current U.S. Marine. I'm under a no contract, no obligation contract, and after today, on Monday, I will be resigning. I will not serve this. Hey, well, you make those decisions for yourself, brother, and I don't judge you at all. Regardless, you served the country, and you did your job. Mel Jesus Gibson says that's a good profile picture too. Tucker is still pushing Vance. That sends off controlled op red flag. Hope I'm wrong, but makes me think if people need a hero, give them the heroes. Yeah, I was talking to JD Delay about that earlier. I don't know if you guys see that. Tucker's been putting out really heavy pro JD Vance reels yesterday or today. Look, it's one of his friends, man. And so
there's a personal relationship there.
So I'm not. I try not to be judgmental. I don't agree with him at all, Tucker, on that one. But yeah, it's different when it's your buddy, right? So can also cloud your judgment with some things sometimes. But again, I'm not judging. With the friends with benefits becoming spouses, how does dual citizenship work for each country? Oath to a nation. I don't know.
Dude, I have so Gabrielle is UK citizen and United States.
Oh, is she?
And I still am America first, believe it or not. I don't know. She's like she has dual citizenship, but we're American, obviously.
Yeah,
just is what it is.
I'm personally not a fan of dual citizenship at all. I don't think it should exist. I don't think it should exist in America. You either are an American citizen or you're not a citizen.
We would give ours up in 2 seconds. Yeah, we would give that up in 2 seconds. If they were like, no more dual citizens, we'd be like, there you go. Just throw in the UK passport in
Yeah.
1 second.
And how crazy is it that if you're in the military and you get like a certain level of security clearance and you're a dual citizen, you have to renounce your other citizenship, but you don't have to do it in elected office. If you're in Congress, you can
Not quite true. Not quite true.
not quite true. Which part?
You don't have to renounce your dual citizenship to get an active security clearance in the United States military. I know I've got buddies that have dual citizenship that have top secret clearances.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Now you get you do as there's a upper level of investigation that will go into that. Same thing as if you have a foreign wife, or like to Jesse's point, Jesse's wife, Jesse would go through a higher level screening process to his security clearance because his wife has dual citizenship. Or I have a lot of buddies that have wives that are from Russia or Japan or Korea, and they go through a way more extensive process in the screening. But yeah, you don't automatically have to give it up.
Yeah, no, I know somebody that did. That's why.
Yep.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah. I think you should have to personally, by the way, but also though, Baze, it also depends on what country. Depends on what country you have dual citizenship for.
It was Brazil.
So Brazil would probably not be that big of a deal. If it was China, that ain't going to happen. If it was Russia, that ain't going to happen. If it was Iran, that ain't going to happen. But if it's Australia, if it's the UK, then sometimes they can be way more lenient with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A couple little things, silver lining. I've prayed for a long time about this very conversation to happen. So God is good. Christ is king. Also, y'all were talking third party when they nuked it. Think about it. A kicked dog barks. Think on that. Thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate it. Disagree with the stop voting takes. USA turnout is only around 60% in presidential elections and 40% in midterms. Way, way lower for local elections. That's a good point. Hardly anybody votes as is. I didn't even think about that. Everyone who voted yes on both sides needs to go. Agreed. It's for you guys.
Dale, big super chat. Thank you very much. Baze is based. I would vote for you. Having a hard time with this one, bro. Cannot wait for tomorrow's discussion. I have too much to say. Be prepared and be the light. Thank you very much. Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot to say about this one right now, for sure. For you guys.
Star Studio again. Thank you very much. Investigative reporting. Follow the money. Yes, always follow the money.
Will the news tell the real story? They're not telling the story at all.
Yeah.
Will they only talk about the 1.15? The answer, nothing will change. They won't even know. Yeah, they're not talking about this at all on the mainstream media.
No, they're all talking about the Nolan Wells case. I texted you guys about that earlier.
Yeah,
like, wow,
I showed.
There's going to be another story.
I showed this, and it's not just the mainstream media; it's also social media. Like we saw this fucking live stream got nuked from orbit, right?
Yeah.
And I showed this on my video earlier. I logged into my Twitter. My X account is not set up. So it's like basically a blank profile. And it even says set up your profile. And I showed people, hey, if I click X on an account that has nothing, what is the feed going to show me? Right? Is it going to be this story? Well, guess, do you know what it was? All my feed was? And that's a generic count, just what X is pushing. Andrew Tate, Donald Trump's body double, Andrew Tate, Donald Trump's body double, and then like one other thing. And I was like, yeah, this is the slop news feed, right? This is what they're pitched, but not a single word about this. And this is the biggest story of the day. You know what I mean?
But
they didn't even have it in the algorithm. So.
In a lot of years, it could have been the biggest story of the year. But this year's just been so
this
crazy.
is going to be out of the news in a week.
Yeah.
When will America declare independence? It's coming. It's coming eventually, guys, with the way things are moving, but it's going to take a while. At the same time, how does giving nuclear enrichment to the Saudis fit in with Section 219 vote appeasement? Well, keep in mind, the Saudis get along pretty well with our greatest ally. So I don't know if there's any connection here, but we're also pretty good allies.
Somebody's getting paid.
Yep, there you go. That's always the way. Somebody's making money off it.
Somebody's getting paid.
For you guys,
JP Sears is the best for quick comical education.
Yeah, I love JP.
He's great, dude.
For you guys,
shout out to Coco Feather. Now all Americans have a common enemy. Protect the children.
See, this is the
I'm
optimism
about
take.
protecting the kids. So yeah.
This is the optimism take, right? Like
Yes.
this hopefully will unite the country.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we'll see if it does. Friend of the show, BB Netanyahu says, chat is super censored. Well, thank you, BB, for you guys. Oh, this is more gems. So
That's me. Go for it.
Adam, what's up, brother? Cops staying in my house again for my X post. This time it was local PD, not state. I posted that vid on X and YouTube. All right, we'll definitely
That's
we'll watch it
real.
on the
That's
next
real.
show. So you guys remember that viral clip in Texas of the two law enforcement officers who
Yeah.
walk up to the door and they're like, "Hey, we saw what you were posting about Israel on X."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fucking yeah, whatever. First Amendment, get the fuck out of here. Stay off the grass." That's Adam, right here.
Adam
Oh,
the
that's
Angry.
wild.
What's
That's
up,
his
dude?
house. Yeah, that's
look-
his house.
Yeah, God bless
Look 'em
you.
up now.
Yeah, that was like 6-7 months ago. That was super viral. But yeah, that's Adam. That was him.
Damn.
Crazy, huh? Apparently, he said they did it again.
Nice work for putting that out, dude.
Yeah.
I'm following them now.
Yeah, that was a big deal, man. That one went super viral. In my opinion, our only hope is a new party in 28. 93% of our politicians take money from AIPAC. Massey talked about organizing new power. We talked about that all day today. I'm 100% on board with that, guys.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to see happen. I'm just how do you get it across the line and make it serious as a third party, you know?
If Candace and Tucker launch it,
It's exactly, Jesse. That's exactly what I said on my channel. I was like,
Really?
you have to, yeah. I literally said to my audience, I was like, the only way it would work is if you had like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, Sean Ryan, like all of those, all that massive group get together and be like, this is the new party that we're launching. And but you'd have to have like Anna Kasparian. You'd have to get
Yes.
like, you'd have to cross.
They're
the
friends now
demographics
too,
for it.
dude.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Candace.
yeah. So it's doable. That
Mhm.
might be the way it would have to happen. You know.
They're all, it's either Candace and Anna or Jesse on fire and some person you haven't heard of.
How do you reconcile voting GOP? But they're the ones that start wars, explode the budget, and lead us to this point. Well, I would say this is both parties do all of those things.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the voting record for voting to go to war in Afghanistan and Iraq, yeah. Take a look at that, because there was like 2 people who voted no, and it was Bernie Sanders and Barack Obama, and that's it. So that's a both sides problem on that one. That's a uniparty thing.
Cody Nichols, what's up, dude? Thank you. I think gems are just super chats with extra steps. Viewers still spend real money, but it feels like the platform takes a bigger cut before creators get paid. I don't know
Well,
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
First time I ever seen gems was Aaron getting them as donations.
Yeah.
These are all for you guys, the next 4 or 5.
Shut up and think. What's up, dude? This goes as far. This goes so far beyond money. I think it's because most people aren't that evil that they can't believe anyone could be that evil. Wake up, folks. Yep. Cody, again, thank you very much. Don't forget the FEMA camps. They are still there. Yeah. Yep. No one, anyone. Thank you very much. Canada is done. We will hit back and suffer the consequences. Oil and energy will be cut as an export to USA from Canada.
I don't know. I don't think the United States and Canada want to become enemies. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
No.
the USA is in the Bible, Book of Revelation, chapter 17, and others. USA is a mystery Babylon. John talks about. Only way he knew to describe that is what he saw. You would really like my good friend Tim, because he's all about this exact thing with Revelations. I don't know enough about it when it comes to those connections. So thank you for the super sticker. Is USA protested like Albanians? What's the difference? Albanians are based and we're not. That's kind of what I've seen so far. For you guys.
Short, oh, that's me. Sorry. Short stack. Thank you, dude. This looks like the Old Spice Blade, Mr. T.
Mr. Let Go.
Dude, I'll take I'll take any of those. That's a
Yeah, those
any
aren't
of those.
insults at all. Yeah.
I'm not mad at Blade.
Yeah.
Rain,
Although,
thanks very much.
hey, that guy didn't pay his taxes. That didn't work out. very
Yeah,
well.
that's true.
No, I did not.
That's
He had a
true.
hard time,
Wesley
you're
Snipes
right.
didn't pay his
Yeah.
taxes.
Did he still
and
have to
move
pay after
the
he went
Cayman
to jail?
Islands.
They shipped him for 9 years or something like that. They for,
9?
I don't think he
Yeah,
actually
but-
served 9. But
No, he bounced, dude. He went to the Cayman Islands or something like that.
Oh
You
shit!
don't remember that? That's why he stopped acting for like 10 years. It's because he
I thought
bounced.
he actually went to jail though.
No, I don't think so.
I thought he did. I'll check.
Really?
I'll check.
I don't think so. I think he bounced, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly. This is for you guys.
Yep. Rain, thank you very much. What if influencers aren't only getting secret memos from influence campaigns? What if the real puppet master is AI quietly writing? The
I have
script?
considered this. I have considered
Mm.
this, dude. And that AI is writing the script behind the scenes. And because look at what the outcome's going to be. No matter how you look, it's like data centers. Because like there was that story about that guy who was the whistleblower, and then but
Yeah.
it's like there's no way this kid did that. And it was like, what if like it is at the same time as the story about how AI was blackmailing the scientist that was going to shut him out. I'm like, what if AI is like blackmailing
Dude,
somebody and
that's
told him
so
exactly how to get
crazy.
into the house and all that? And like, I've totally thought about that.
Yeah, but it's strong enough to do that now.
Yeah,
Like it's good enough to be able to do that.
totally.
You know,
It's
we're not
probably
in
much
like a
better than we know.
dystopian, like futuristics, like fiction story there. Like the current AI system is strong enough to do that. Which
Yeah.
And one
Ugh.
debate that I've had with a couple people that are bigger into AI, because if like you think about DARPA and the technology that the government has, they're usually always like 5 to 10 years ahead of what the public has access to. And I said, like, if you think about AI and how powerful our AI is and the capabilities that we have now, like imagine what the government's got. But people that know AI doesn't think that the gap is anywhere near that big like it is with other tech.
I actually have a theory that's crazy about the data centers. The data centers are actually powering underground. They're building something underground.
Underground cities.
Underground cities, and the water that the data centers are taking is funneling the water to the underground cities.
So can I tell you guys something? Because I never subscribed to the underground city stuff. I always thought it was silly. But I'll tell you about when I was in the last phase of the Special Forces qualification course. It's called Robin Sage exercise. It's like our culmination exercise. The final, we hit a target, right? As a team. So it's in North Carolina, in the middle of a fucking suburban neighborhood, in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. We flew in on helicopters, and the objective was to take down a cell phone tower to like knock out communications because you're fighting a war, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a full cell phone tower. It's just like in the middle of this fucking neighborhood, which is crazy. And we get there, we hit the target, and like we're setting up all our explosives, mock explosives to hit this target. And we have to go clear the whole place. And there's a little it looks like a little outhouse, like little wooden like porta shitter, you know what I mean? You go and you open the door, and there's a latch, and you pull the latch up, and there's a stairwell. And you walk down the stairwell, and it turns into a 7-story deep nuclear facility, hundreds of meters by hundreds of meters, all throughout just in the middle of nowhere, suburbs of North Carolina. 7 stories deep. It's like the craziest underground thing I've ever seen in my life. It was super cool because like we cleared through it. There was bad guys everywhere. But dude, like seeing that, I was just like, this is just fucking underneath the ground in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, under a cell phone tower. Mm-hmm. It's like there's probably shit like that everying, guys.
Yeah,
like,
you never know. That's like some shit out of Lost. Remember that? I don't know.
Dude, we were just like, it's like going through there. It was just like, and it fully developed, right? They like built it in the 50s or 60s during the Cold War.
In the 50s?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
they're getting ready for nuclear war, dude.
Not even a bunker. I'm talking about like an underground. Think about like if you were to go to think about like a Bally's Fitness. Think about like how big a Bally's Fitness is, like giant, big, open, like probably like 200 meters by 200 meters, but 7 floors deep of that. Like you go down floor, here's the 6th floor, here's the 7th floor. It's that massive everywhere you go, and it's just like that was all just under the ground, in the middle of a neighborhood, and
So I actually believe
Greensville, North Carolina, or something like that.
I actually believe that's what the data centers are actually for. There's a whole
but
world.
that's my point, Aaron, is like that shit. There is that shit underground in this country. Like I've been in them, So
I'm gonna run out of time here because we're going.
You're
Vegas
good,
tomorrow. Gabrielle's below. We have so much shit to do.
You're good. We're gonna hit the just the yellows and above here, guys. To finish
anybody that super chatted that I didn't get to, I apologize. Just let me know on the next one, and I will kiss your face and give you extra time.
We weren't planning this live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much, but we'll do that. All right, we'll get out of here quick. We're almost done. So, Milhog says all they have to do is to backdoor systems and shut them down. this is another big problem, is we didn't really think about that. This might have been for, check if these are your guys's. If they're not, then they're Jesse's.
I don't think that's mine.
Okay. For Jesse, hey, to all the good-looking guys on YouTube, thanks so much for doing this collab and informing us with all this mess. Appreciate it. Love you, Jesse. Everyone, keep up the hope and faith. Thank you, Dee Jesse, and appreciates it. And sorry, guys, if we miss a couple of them, but can't be here forever. Jensen says, this feels like the Avengers team. We need to combat the healthy masculinity crisis that is facing this nation, supporting the country, the youth, women, and the truth. Thanks for all you guys do. Yeah, that I agree with. I have a big push of that on my other channel. Censored as well. Here's $10 to say F you. Thank you. Bobby, thank you, brother. Says, I wonder what the rest of NATO is thinking about this. Ooh, because NATO, a lot of NATO does not like them.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this. And not just NATO, but, China, Russia, although I'm sure they saw it coming, but still.
Right. Yeah. They can automatically draft you now that they can't automatically register you to vote. Oh, okay. They can automatically draft you, but they can't. Yeah, this is a great point. Yeah, they probably could. They definitely could. Bobby says, happy 40th, Nate. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. Is this for you guys?
I'll read it. Cody Nichols. It feels like we are America, one nation under.
You know who?
You know who?
Yeah, it does feel that way. Hey, Nate, I meant in the way to be taxed. Taxes can only be collected from profit. Why are we paying taxes if the exchange of labor is zero net gain, but the government likes to tell us otherwise? I think I see what you're saying here. Well, I would say this: start an LLC, my friend, because when you start an LLC, all of a sudden you can write off your expenses.
Yes.
On your taxes. And when you are using your labor, right? If you are working, the government says you can't write any of that off on your taxes. So one of the cheat codes, you guys all have, I'm sure, have LLCs, right?
Yeah.
Baze, did you set one up for yourself? I don't know if
I got a DBA, not a regular LLC.
Gotta have LLC. I got multiple.
You gotta get on that. But yeah, guys, I mean, one of the biggest life hacks you can have: start a small business, start a secondary business, even if you're making t-shirts or something. And just a little life hack that can really help you with your taxes. Because then, all your gas and different things become business expenses. So
everything is a business expense.
Consider that, guys, if you're worried about your taxes. For one of you guys or Jesse?
Studio, see Snake Eyes Wide Shut, and They Live in Minority Report, Westworld, Borg, AI, Terminator, and War Games, Plandemic, Psyops, Soon Come, Contagion.
My God, brother.
They Live. I never heard of They Live.
You didn't hear about? I was talking about They Live last night on my stream. Just watch it.
Was it good?
Oh, these are good shows.
My favorite
these
movie.
are shows. Okay.
My favorite
They Live.
movie.
Got it.
They Live. Yeah.
Create a constitutional boost that allows citizens to reaffirm our oath to the Constitution, regardless if you're left or the right. We must reaffirm our oath. It's not a bad idea. Foreign government-owned land is their sovereign rule. Yes, no, treated like embassy level, hands off. Alfalfa Farm is an example. Foreign government-owned land. Oh, yeah, they're like China owns a shit ton of land here, which is just weird. Next to military bases.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. 100 quick response teams. Thank you. It's both. They sold 6 Republicans for 6 Democrats, and obviously Massey was a no uniparty. Interesting take here. Interesting take. Just to make it look like it was an actual vote. Don't take the wrong way, but okay, well, we're not reading that one. Thank you. This is for either Jesse or one of you guys.
If it's Jesse's, I'll read it. Is that you, Aaron?
No, that's not mine.
It's Jesse, probably.
All these conflicts, local and international, are all because of the historical families losing control over the banking system. Banking system is collapsing. They're sprinting to maintain control over us.
The dollar's definitely collapsing, for sure. Kenneth, what's up, brother? Says the Life of Conception Act, HR 722, is the primary federal legislation currently introduced in Congress. Keep up the great work, Nate. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, Priya.
Quick question: is They Live 1988 movie?
Yes, starring Roddy Piper. You'll love it.
Good, cool.
It's like a documentary. Is this you?
This one's me. Yeah. Hey, brother. Hope all y'all are well. Would you bring Dan on from Heavy Duty Country? What are the chances of a Revolt in America? So Dan's going to be with us tomorrow. And so me, Jesse, and Dan are going to try to do a show together this weekend, hopefully. But yeah, Dan is one of my good buddies. I don't know why me and Dan haven't done more content together, but we haven't.
Shout out to Heavy Duty Country.
Yeah, he's the homie, man.
Yeah, he makes great content.
Yeah, military is overly strict members. Only socialism. The military, I'll be honest, guys. People who complain about socialism, if you're in the military, it's pretty socialist. You got free healthcare, you got free education, they pay for your home, they pay for your food, but you're also serving the nation. So
yeah.
Aspen Institute since 1949 methodically destroying the United States for you know who to rule, one world order, CIA, Bush seniors, one world order. Aspen Institute. I'll have to look into that. I'm not familiar with the Aspen. Are you guys familiar with the Aspen Institute? Not either. Bayes, when he called out Pam Bontey's logical fallacies, was great. We need more argument-based logical breakdowns. What these idiot politicians say. That's nicer. That's better than me, Bayes. All I do is make fun of the politicians and dog them with memes and comedy. So at least you're criticizing them for the right things. It's for either Jesse. Oh, this is for Jess. I'll read it here quick. Jesse, what do you think will happen when Canada cuts oil exports to the United States and pulls the plug on hydroelectricity and potash? Canada will not back down because of tariffs. Guess we know where the group troops are going to go next.
They can't afford to do it,
Yeah,
especially now that we're partnered up with Israel. They'd be fucked.
I was just going to say, okay, you can stop selling your oil to the United States, and now who are you going to sell it to? That's going to hurt Canada a lot more. It's going to hurt the United States. So that's just, guys. I don't know why we want to have Canada and the United States fighting each other. Like we don't. They're a great ally. We should.
We're right next door to them. It doesn't make any sense.
We should want to have a really strong relationship with China, or not China, Canada, because we don't want our allies to turn to China. That's where I was going with that, which they are doing the more we push them away. Let's see. This is for Jesse, maybe?
Yeah, that's Jesse's girl again.
Oh, HBD Nate, if it's today, you and Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, have the same birthday. No, my birthday's Friday, unfortunately. I'm a huge WWE fan, though. So, hey, Nate, are you going to do a vid on how hard it is to zero rifle in 30 seconds in regards to PR? It's not possible. I can't zero rifle in 30 seconds. I mean, maybe I could, but I have to be able to shoot it. I could try to bore sight a rifle. It's going to take a lot longer time than that. So, no, I'm not going to bother trying to do that because it's not possible. So take that for what you want with the Tyler Robinson shot. Anyone have visions of Red Dawn?
Oh man, that was a good movie.
People getting black pill.
That was a good movie.
Wayback Machine, Aspen Institute, radio, fellow judge, South Carolina politicians. Again, I'm not tracking Aspen Institute. I'll have to look it up. Sounds interesting, though. Thank you. People didn't ask for this. We were told big difference. Plus America sentiment for you know who is low. So WTF. Politicians don't care. It turns out they don't care what Americans think.
No,
they probably never have either, but now they're being obnoxious about it. Native put a screenshot of the conception bill in the general chat and Patreon for you to read and panel. It's from congressional website. All right, I will look at that when we get done. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I love this profile picture. I'm a Rottweiler dad. Our Grace Valley lobbies need to register as foreign agents, just like every country's lobbies, but money has no place in politics, period. I agree. Like, I do want them to register, but I also just don't want them involved or here.
It's crazy because so many of the solutions to these problems that we have and how we got to where we are, they're like common sense solutions. You know what I mean? It's just straight corruption that just buried us.
I think it's more than common sense because when money is involved, common sense goes out of the window because
that's why the common sense is to not have the money involved to begin with. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want foreign money involved at all. You know, it's nice that you're registering for FARA, but how about FARA gets the fuck out of here? So we don't,
I think it's like legalizing weed. At all. They're going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
legalizing weed, like you turn around and legalize this because they're going to do it anyway.
You might have on Nathan from Election Truth Alliance, whose organizations have spent the last 1.5 years analyzing election results using statistical analysis to identify manipulation 2024. And in Kentucky, I don't know who that is. Do you guys know who that is? Election Truth Alliance. Haven't heard of that one.
No.
Thank you, though. This is for one of you guys.
Yeah, Elena, thank you very much. Good to see you. I had to laugh when my mom looked at the screen, saw Aaron, and said, "Oh, look, it's Dr. Feelgood." That's a great one.
Do you think this crap would have happened in Iran from you know where if Saddam Hussein was alive?
Hell no.
Saddam, here's the thing. That's and I say this all the time. Removing Saddam Hussein from power was the biggest strategic misstep in recent war or military history. Because Saddam Hussein, like him or not, kept the Middle East in check. That dude was constantly fucking up Iran. That dude was constantly effing up our greatest ally. So Saddam was kind of based. Now, it doesn't mean he was a good person. But yeah, us destabilizing Iraq was really where the dominoes started falling for the disaster that is the Middle East for sure. So turns out, when you remove a dictator, it doesn't always go great for you. But for you guys,
Hawk, thank you very much. Have any of you read Tardio's Twitter article? Okay. Oh yeah. Article regarding Charlie's steel neck theory. Much love.
So I talked to Matt on the phone earlier today because he was asking me about something like we were talking about the potential exploding mic. I haven't seen this. I know he's done a bunch of stuff on it. Me and Matt don't agree on this at all, but
I like how they took my picture for the avatar.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know he told me that he did a big research paper on it. And to be clear, Matt also thinks, Matt will be honest with you and tell you it's very, very unlikely and very, very bizarre and very low chance that a 30-06 went through a human neck. He just believes that it is possible, and he's trying to justify and show that. So anybody who's actually honest with themselves, even if they do think it's possible, even on the other side, will tell you it is extremely unlikely for a 30-06 to have done that. Now, some of the not so honest people that we know on the other side, as Baze knows who I'm talking about. We all know who I'm talking about. They'll tell you that, of course, it was a 30-06, and of course, his neck stopped it, right? Those are the people you need to watch out for. The honest people will at least be like, okay, I think it's possible, but here,
Yeah, the
Did you guys see my shirt being the actual culprit video? It kept getting taken down. I'll talk about it in the chat.
But yeah, no, I mean, again, we can agree to disagree, man. You can disagree with people, but you got to be honest with yourself and be able to acknowledge this case is fucking weird. It's so insanely unlikely that this was a 30-06. And if you can't do that, for me, I'm just I'm out, dude. There's no point for me to even engage. Did you
hear what Barron brought up yesterday? That for the first 4 or 5 days after Charlie was assassinated, they kept saying that the screwdriver was found in the woods next to the rifle. And it wasn't until they didn't find any DNA that connected to Tyler Robinson on the roof that all of a sudden Kash Patel came out 5 days later on the 15th and said, oh, no, the screwdriver was on the roof.
Dude, that makes way more sense, though. Why the
fuck? And the guy on camera is holding the handrail up the stairs. And they're like, no, nothing.
Yeah. Why would he, again,
why would he carry a screwdriver up there? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, it never made sense.
No.
But if you think about what Baze just said, it starts to make sense if it wasn't actually up there and they just said it was up there.
Yeah.
Because they needed a connective piece. Because you know what they didn't have, Baze? They didn't have video footage.
Video of the roof.
And if they don't have video footage of the shot being taken, what do they have to have? DNA, right?
DNA,
they don't have DNA or footage of it. It's you have nothing that connects the shooter to the crime.
They have one thing. They have one piece of evidence that connects a shooter to the crime. And that is the 223 round that they found on a separate roof. That's the only physical evidence.
They do have that. That's right. We forgot about that. All right. If there was ever a time for violent change, this is it. Again, we can't substantiate or agree with anything like that on YouTube, my friend. For one of you guys?
Renee Loves Pink. Thank you very much. Back to my point. We were angry with Biden, and then this is even worse. The people didn't vote this. What happened to America first? Very good question.
Yep. Well, and that's a great point. That's exactly what happened. Everybody was mad with Biden. I was mad at Biden for multiple reasons. Botched withdrawal to Afghanistan. I'll never forgive for that for a lot of different reasons. And so, but yeah, that's we get mad, we vote the other way, and here we are.
And that is the trick.
Yeah. Omara Musa, thank you. Very, very generous donation. That big $100 donation says, please test how hard a 12-pound head would snap back. Charlie's didn't. If it really did absorb full kinetic energy of a 30-06, hit a 12-pound box sitting on a table with a gang target and said, stop, bullet passed through, more physics was violated by government story. So, yeah, this is another big problem with the 30-06 is the amount of force that's actually hitting Charlie's body for him to basically
Not
just
fall
do
back.
for him to do this with the
Yeah.
force of a 30. If you watch my ballistic test, guys, you watch that shit just explode, right? And
Mhm.
it just blows over tables and blows over my backstops. So the idea that much kinetic energy and that much kinetic force, and he just went like this, and then just kind of
It
that
makes
doesn't
no sense.
You know, I ran a lot of analytics on that, especially when the person that you were referring to before referred a book to me that had a bunch of math equations, and I ran it 1,000 times, and it said that if the bullet, what do they call it, the frangible rounds? They said that
Yeah.
if it was a frangible round, and if the gun malfunctioned, and there was a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
yawing, and that it hit the bone
yes,
first,
yes.
because they
Right,
said
right,
that the initial impact is what's going to absorb that force off the bat, and that was the difference with Martin Luther King Jr. When MLK got shot, he got shot in the face. He got shot
Yeah,
right in the
but
chin.
hold
so the
on,
bullet hit the
hold
bu- Yeah,
on.
no. Years later, found out that it didn't
well,
even
hold
match
on
the
though.
30-06.
Hold on though. What they like to say is there was no exit wound with what Martin Luther King got shot with. That is not true. That round went fucking through part of his body, exited his body, and went into another part of his body, then stopped.
Yeah, which
So
is
a lot
wild.
of people. So my point with that is, yes, it did create an exit wound, and then tracked into the rest of his body because he got shot in the face, and then it tracked in, out, back in, and then stuck. That is
But Nate,
different.
not only that, it hit in the jaw, went through his face, then it hit his cervical and his what do they call it, the upper thoracic. So it hit multiple bones.
Right. That's my
multiple
point.
bones.
So
So,
that's
with
a
Charlie Kirk,
completely
we find
different
out that it's a
situation.
standard round out the box and it hits
Yeah.
soft tissue. It's like
No.
there's no way, like any of those probabilities that like the stars could have aligned and done this, like it's out the window now.
So my buddy Brian, who does the actual shooting portion of our test, competition long gun shooter, he's into all like the crazy nerd science, everything behind it, because he does like high level competition long gun shooting where like all this stuff is extremely important. Like every little mathematical thing's important. And he's been like, let me try to devil's advocate this. Now that we know the rounds and everything, he's like, okay, well, maybe like Dremling into the round, and then if the round had like a light strike, and then the round somehow yaw and tumbled, and then also like maybe the explosive powder was a little bad, but at the same time, then we have to consider like where was he aiming, because like all of these, basically he's like, I have to have like 7 different malfunctions to get it to all work, but then somehow be not too many malfunctions that the round still fired correctly enough to hit the target while having enough impact to go in him. And he's like, dude, it's like the probability of having all of those things all line up is like the universe being created, guys. You know what I mean?
And once it hits soft tissue of the neck, even with like the neck muscles and whatnot, it's only absorbing 1/6 of the force.
Right. Yeah.
1/6.
Yep. Yeah. So that's anyway, guys. The more we talk about it, the dumber it gets. But I wonder if this would have passed with Kamala Waltz. I'm sure it would have. Yeah. I don't see why we would.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
thinking. And that's kind of like my point. It wouldn't have made a difference if
No, I think the same thing would have happened under them too. Yep. Personally.
So voting for another president would not have changed anything.
I don't know if it's probably for Jesse. Just want to say Valhalla and Jesse on fire. 2 goats on YouTube. America first. Thank you, man. That's super, super nice of you. New superpower in 2026 isn't being stoic. It's knowing how to live without the internet. That could be important someday, for sure. Kangaroo Bot, thank you, brother, for a very, very generous donation. Says, in regards to the whole not paying your taxes to protest argument, I don't think that would work, largely because, like we saw during 2020 in Canada, they will freeze your assets and bank accounts. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. You're not wrong. The government could just be like, oh, you didn't want to pay your taxes, to Mr. Letgo's point. Instead of putting, a third of the people in prison, they just go, nah, we're just going to seize your assets. Thank you. That's ours.
And everybody just go broke.
Because everything's digital.
And nobody's going to save the money that they were supposed to pay. They're just going to spend the money that they were supposed to pay. And then
Yeah,
everybody's gonna
this
be
is
broke.
Kangaroo Bot. This is a good person. This is a good point. The government
Yeah.
probably would just be like, "No, we're just going to seize your fucking assets and then put you in prison." So,
Yeah.
I think if everybody did it collectively at once, it would be too much. But man, like getting everybody on board for that.
Yeah.
Base has been reading super chats, man. Next up, Dems in charge and more gun control. Yeah, I mean, again, it ain't going to be great either way. DOD required for treason charges. DOD benefits from this bill. We're screwed. Get money out of politics and Citizens United. No packs, term limits, and age limits unless we are NASCAR declaring our sponsors. The money has to go. Is that not like George Carlin? Isn't that one of his jokes that he wants politicians? Wait, this was a long time ago. To have to wear all their sponsors on their
Like
suits,
I can see
NASCAR,
George Carlin
like
saying
NASCAR
that.
drivers.
I can see him saying that because that'd be hilarious.
I'm pretty sure that's one of his jokes. Maybe chat. Let me know if that's a different comedian. But
I
there is
think
a
it
comedian
was
that
a
has
different comedian, but
that would
Yeah.
be funny seeing George Carlin.
that.
do that joke.
Robin Williams. It might have been
Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams. I know it was an older
Yeah, it was
generation
Robin
comedian. Yeah. That's a perfect one. For the group, money is a big theme here. If God was to test you with money, do you think you'd pass? Unlike those discussed, sometimes I think I would, sometimes I don't. But I haven't been tested to date. Look, for me, I'll just say me personally, I'm very, very frugal. I don't spend money on anything. I am not materialistic. As you guys can see, dipshit Nate in a tank top.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked,
money.
I drive a 2016, paid off truck. So for me, you can't buy me with money because I don't give a shit about money. It's not something I really care about. As long as like me and my family are taken care of, that's good enough for me. I don't know about you guys if
They can
money is a big
pay
thing
me-
for you guys.
I can't wait to get out of New York and just get some property in the woods and just grow my own food and just
That's what I'm
fuck
doing
off.
now. Yeah.
Just
They
land
can pay
and
me to
Wi-Fi.
get off of YouTube. If they pay me a lot of money, you'll never see me get on YouTube.
Oh, to go
no more
away.
and just go away. But they can't pay me to speak against what
Yeah.
I already believe in. So
There you
yeah,
go.
You're not gonna
there
pull
is
the Dan
amount of
Bongino.
money, huh?
Yeah.
What again?
He said you're not going to be Dan Bongino.
That's what I'm saying. But if they pay me a certain amount of money and say just leave YouTube and never make it, I'll easily do that.
Interesting.
But I'm not going to go against my own morals. I'll
Yeah.
go away.
A lot of people do though, man. Like we're watching it.
Yeah, I'm
We're watching
never
it.
doing
Like,
that.
we're watching
I
it
got,
with
I got
creators
kids
that we're
that-
You see it in real time, and you
I
see
got
it in their
grown
face
daughters.
too.
Like my kids look up to me. Like there's no way in this world. It's so many people that look up to me or see what I do on a normal basis. And if I just disappear off YouTube, I just say I just got tired of it. but I'm not going to turn around and say something opposite. Never.
Yeah. Oh, dude, shilling a narrative or something I don't believe in. Yeah, 0% chance.
No way.
0%
Yeah, I can't do it.
chance, dude. I could have taken a different route on YouTube and just been like done shill pro MAGA pro military content as a Green Beret, and it could have been way, way easier. To be honest with you guys, like my background, people in my background typically don't believe what I believe, and they're not very supportive of me speaking the way I speak. So
I would make more money if I thought differently without somebody offering the money. I would just naturally make more money, but I believe differently. I don't pander to certain audiences, and people
Yeah.
who pander to certain audiences make a lot of more money without being offered money.
Correct.
So
Right.
I'm not even going to do that.
yeah, being the like the independent talk shit about everybody is usually
Yes.
not the greatest
Right.
angle.
I'm
And
the
that's my
independent
lane.
talk
It's
shit
been
about
kind of tough. It's been kind of
Yeah.
tough.
You're usually not going to get a lot of funding from
Yeah.
from anybody that way.
Exactly.
A vampire must be
Hold on, be right back.
invited in. Well, we just did it. Huh? Please watch my coverage with Friends with Matt. He's been threatened and compromised. It's the weirdest thing I've seen in my life. I don't know what your coverage is, homie. Do you have a channel? Thank you, though. Whatever we do, don't storm the Capitol and make examples. Yeah, do not do this. Do not do this. Whatever you do. I agree. What do you do when you meet Buddha, politician? The road Buddha becomes the Buddha. That's a lot of Buddhas. I don't know. Thank you. We're almost there, guys. The third political party is anti-Z, anti-billionaire, pro-working class, and investigates the Big E files. I love all these things. This is exactly what I agree with. For Bays, I think, but abolish super PACs. Or Super PACs Act would solve so much. Yeah, the PACs are a big problem. Is this you, Mr. Let Go?
Shout out to Exodus. You will need someone who is willing to sacrifice their own life for the greater good for this country, even if that means leaving their own family behind in order to give us all a chance once again.
A lot of people do that, man. That's what going to war is in the military, right?
Yeah.
Although,
Mhm.
we haven't
That's what
really
manhood is to a certain degree.
fought justifiable wars, but there's a lot of dudes that are willing to do it,
Yeah.
Having children, raising them to be strong, moral Christians is the equivalent of a tier 1 counter, unit. You're not wrong. They're not wrong. The USA is the business Trump and his admin broke the fastest, and they still aren't done until it's burned to the ground so they can pee on the ashes. All right. Aaron, just the gold coins.
Thank you.
Right.
Don't let y'all know how much those
not an
things
official
are crazy.
congressional. Okay, we can't talk about these ones. God, you guys are feeling pretty violent tonight, which I get it. I understand.
They sick of this shit.
Just get it out of your
says-
system online. Don't
Yeah.
act on it.
Yep, for sure. Everything that both parties have been waking up to just now, leftists have been saying for years, everything from wealth concentration to workers' rights to healthcare to American imperialism to you know what and beyond. Welcome. Yeah, but here's the thing. When they've had power, they haven't pushed through those agendas.
Mhm.
A lot of that's usually talking points, right? So a lot of stuff I agree with on the left, but I don't see them actually doing, right? We didn't see that during the Biden administration. A lot of things I would have liked to have seen, but we didn't. For one of you guys, maybe?
Yep.
Or
Rachel, thank you very much. My son is in the British Army. He's 20. It's always been him and I. Watching the news feels like I'm having a nervous breakdown. Maybe I am neurotic. No, if you have
No,
if you
you're
have-
not.
Yeah, no, you're it's totally normal and justifiable.
No, especially, yeah.
I would say this to anybody who watches the news a lot: never consume more than you produce. So
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
sitting around looking at the news, you have to now get up and be the news. Don't just look at the news. Go be the news for somebody in your life.
So I call it, I just say go touch grass. I
Go touch
have
grass.
to
Yeah, me
do
too.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
for us guys, like we are embroiled in this all day long, or at least I don't know about Aaron with your relationship stuff, if you're as much as us and like the just constantly in the ugliness of politics. But man, I'll find sometimes guys, like I just start getting like angry at the world and my
Mhm.
temper. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta step away, get off online for a couple days, go touch grass, and get
Yeah.
away from the devices, because it's very easy for this stuff to wear you down.
I just
You
hope
know.
these people find Jesus.
The crazy thing with me is I'll be enthralled in this type of content, and then I'll go on tour dates and I'm enthralled in relationship debates and get mad at the relationship stuff as much as I get mad at this. So
It's different though, right? And so you're at least getting different types of
Yeah,
exposure and content, and different
yeah.
types of people. Yeah.
uh-huh.
If your only news source, if you're your only news source, you don't know what you don't know.
So true.
Yeah. How is this even up for vote? We the people must be horrible bosses. The people must. Oh, the movie. I see what you're saying there. Thank you. We need a lobby for the American people. Oh, I've been talking about this. Where's the America First lobby? Right? Where's the America First lobby to pay us a bunch of money?
We don't
for our
have any
content?
money.
We're all fucking broke. Everybody's renting.
The foreigners are the ones that are
the
siphoning
economy.
all this money in. The American people don't have money, or either they refuse
Yeah.
to share it with other people.
You guys have to realize the economy is being weaponized against us. When people don't own assets, inflation is good. You
Mm.
understand? When you own the
Yeah,
assets,
you're
when
right.
you own the
When you own
land,
the equities,
inflation's
yeah.
your best friend.
It
Mhm.
is, yeah. You're right. The stock market and real estate are incredible during inflationary period times.
Yeah.
Yeah. If everyone pitched in to pay off Congress to pass laws that actually help the American public, we might get somewhere. Also, how do you get TMT on the show? What?
What's TMT?
TMT?
The
not sure.
something, I don't know who that is.
What's TMT, guys? Chat, help me out. But yeah, to Bezos' points, because nobody has any money. To
Yeah.
get the politicians
No
for
money.
this.
Why do you think they're voting Mamdani and they want socialism? You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Our government merged with, you know what? I spent $32 on 4.5 pounds of hamburger meat, and my damn crown on my front tooth popped off after eating said hamburger meat. This day is so ass. Lady G would have loved it.
that sucks.
That's a good joke right there. But also, sorry to hear that. And yes, Beef is outrageous.
And real quick, to the thought of we don't have any money. I seen Kanye West and Diddy, both people lost all of their money because they lost a subset of who was funding them.
Well,
And
Diddy
come
got
to-
into it with the people from
Yeah.
Ciroc and
But it-
Kanye.
Kanye
He said a
lost
couple
Nike.
things.
Well, we know
No,
who he got with.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
The
yeah.
thing about it
Kanye
is-
posted a couple things. He made a couple statements
Right,
to
yeah.
piss off.
But
Might have made a song.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
his net worth overnight. He lost his Adidas deal.
Yes.
He was worth $2 billion.
Adidas, yeah.
And the next day, in one night after he lost his Adidas
Like
deal,
400,000.
his no, it went to 400 million. But
400
still, think
million,
about it:
okay.
2
Yeah.
billion
Wow.
to 400 million overnight.
Crazy.
And
So
then
when
he
it
made
comes
and then he made a
to-
song about things
Whoever.
he did with his cousin
Mm-hmm.
because probably they had that information. They were going to blackmail
And he
him
said,
with
"I'll put it
anyway."
out myself."
like,
yeah.
I put it out myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
And
beat was
that's kind of
fire,
like
too.
what happens where so you see somebody in America with a whole bunch of money and you wonder why they don't give it back to the community, because somebody else most likely is propping them up to
Mhm.
look like they're an influencer, which they don't have actually. And if they went against who we want them to go against, the next day they're going to be broke. Or
And also the money is their power too.
Well,
But yeah, a
we're-
lot of it's
what I'm
inflated.
saying is
We're,
they can't
uh,
use the money to help us because
But
it's
we're,
not their money.
We're seeing this, guys, with on social media, right? Let me show you guys this. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but we saw this with Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire. They've dried up. There's no more views
Yeah.
because it's very clear that it looks like they may have been getting artificially propped up with views.
Right.
Here's another one.
Yeah,
You guys
Megan
haven't
Kelly. I was
seen-
just about to say. Yeah,
Megan,
no, I saw.
guys, Megan, my buddy Jameson sent me this the other day because I don't watch her.
Megan
content.
Kelly.
It is incredible how
Yeah.
low her views are. I mean, these ones are a little bit older here, but she put out a ton of content. But like, look at this: 27,000, 20,000, 13,000, 55. Here's one good one, 40. But I mean, these numbers. She got a
Yeah, you
couple.
go back 2 months, she's at
6.5.
500,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so her view numbers dropped like 95% out of nowhere. Just
Because
one
you
day, just
lose
gone.
Something, you lose everything.
You know,
talk
but my
against
point is, like,
people.
was she ever that popular, or was she pushing a narrative that her funders kept
Mhm.
pumping her money into because she was saying the right things?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not making any accusations against her. I'm just saying it's pretty
Yeah.
bizarre that you've got a channel with 4 million subscribers that's now averaging 15,000 views a video. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell happened there? Right?
I still think she's controlled off, even with the numbers dropping.
You think so?
They're just trying to position her. Yeah, she's always sat
Yeah.
on the fucking fence. I was
Yeah,
covering
that's
that
true.
last night.
Yep. I do. I've done a few shows on that. One of you guys or Jesse?
Oh, sorry. Destroy the Blob. Thank you very much. Got here late because I was busy dusting off my theater. Yeah.
I know, and we've had a lot of these today for one of you guys. Is it for Jesse?
Probably. Did you guys watch Paramount No Testicles talking shit about your testing? Love all 4 of you guys. Watch daily. Stay blessed. The 6ix9ine is for you, Jesse.
Look, here's the thing. Until Gary goes out and replicates his theory and actually goes out and tests something himself, then he needs to stop talking about me actually going out and doing scientific studies because he's not willing to put.
I don't know if
he's not willing to put. He's not willing to put his money where his mouth is. So
Nate, I
until
don't know
he's
if I
willing to
told you
go
this.
test it, just shut the fuck up, dude.
Sorry for cutting you off, but I
You're good.
actually offered that I would go down there to Virginia with Jordan Henshaw and do like an honest, analytical, objective,
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, even if he
Go
did
do it. Go test it.
But even if he was able to do it, like you're talking about firing 100 shots and you're hoping that 20 don't go through. Like if you get 15 that don't go through, it's a good test. You know
Right.
what I mean? So even
Yeah.
if he proves that he's right, him being right is just proving that there's like a fucking 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 chance.
Yeah, but again, for me, like if you want to criticize my work, that's fine, but don't pretend you're an expert and then not be willing to go test your shit yourself. You know what I mean? Because now you're just yapping your mouth on the fucking internet. Right? I go out there and I fucking test things out.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, that's fine. Go do it your fucking self, dude. Like, let's see some proof that you're as credible as you say you are. I'm getting sick of that dude attacking me on the fucking internet and then never fucking, demonstrating anything himself. It's getting to be pretty fucking pathetic at this point. So, and I try to be nice, but you know what I mean? At
Yeah,
some
you never
point,
talk about
talking
him.
shit about me, I'm gonna fucking say what I actually think. All right. I have a question. How would I'm not going to read that. Thank you. For one of you guys or Jesse.
I'll read it. Damn it, Nate. We need to take back the power or at least make these guys sweat. Let's draft presidents from here on. Thomas Massey, Tom Brady ticket.
Tom Brady.
Be kind of fun
Tom
to see
Brady
how they
slapped
react
somebody
with
the
a
other day.
Brady Massey has a real shot.
Tom Brady slapped somebody.
That would be a one. Daniel says thoughts on Jesse Ventura. He was one of the first person who advocated for third party in election and won governor. I'm a big fan of Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
actually.
me too.
I like him a lot. For a lot of different reasons. So yeah, I like Jesse. Friend of the show, Benjamin Netanyahu says making a third party was a topic of Thiel's Dialogue Society. This is not organic. Do not trust. Well, thank you, BB. We'll keep that in mind. Pay attention to the liberal Democrat YouTubers who are silent on the news. All of them, they were bought off. Yeah, if they're silent about it, well, I mean, I know a couple of these are hardcore pro or greatest ally Democrats. They're on both sides, guys. Don't get me wrong. They're on both sides, right? The Zio shills are on both sides. What the F is actually happening? Has politics always been this way? I remember growing up and never hearing about politics. Now it seems every kid nowadays is radical one way or another. Social media has given us all an everyday window into everything politics. For one of you guys or Jesse?
No, that was me. Destroy the Blob. Thank you very much. Shout out to Adam the Angler. I pretended to congratulate Gary for his stance against gun rights after the Alex Preddy murder. And Adam chimed in, Gary, look what you've done. Then Gary blocked me. That's believable.
He blocked Adam too, by the way. Adam showed me that picture the other day. They just passed 1.5 trillion. Did they pass this too?
I thought it was 1.15. It went to 1.5.
I knew they were trying to pass it. I didn't see they'd passed it already. Fuck, Jesus Christ.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought they knocked it down to 1.15. But
no, I think it's 1.5. They were trying to add 500 billion to it. Are we winning yet?
We got to give it to the partners, you know.
That's right. That's a good point. We need to increase that budget. We've got another military to fund now.
Yeah.
God, much love from the War Boys Studios. Hell yeah, thank you, man. I'm in the telecom industry. Look up ATT long lines. Those bunkers are everywhere under towers. Okay, here you go. So apparently this is a normal thing. I didn't know about it. I've only seen the one, and it was shocking to me when I went into it. Very cool. In Canada, we always had representative versus or conservative versus liberal. In 2001, the MPD started to get traction from 39 seats to 103 seats, becoming opposition. Leader died from prostate cancer. Is this a third party? Is the MPD a third party that's inserted itself? That'd be interesting. I don't know anything about Canadian politics, though. So that would be interesting. Thank you. Been worried about the AI angle. The other super chat, another member mentioned using an established channel is a perfect pivot for human hybrid AI. That's what you guys were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Weird. Thank you. Hey, brother, would you prefer the old school way of the military training or the new way with DEI and everyone's feelings matter? Old way. I am not people get mad at me. I get it. You know, I've got a lot of, liberal viewers. I am not a proponent of DEI at all. I'm a big meritocracy guy. So, meritocracy, not DEI, especially for anything combat arms related, right? If you want to have DEI in Google and Amazon, I don't give a fuck. Cool. Yeah, like if that makes you feel good. When it comes to on the front lines of combat, where I have been, I'm a little bit more of a meritocracy guy when it comes to that. Okay. So that's where I come from on not being a fan of DEI in the military. Hope a progressive judge strikes the NDAA down. Again, I don't think they'll be able to because it's voted on through Congress, passed by the president, Somebody said, what about pilots? No, when I mean DEI, guys, I'm saying I don't want to have someone forced into a job that wasn't qualified for that job based off of XYZ. I'm not talking about I don't want women in the military or I don't want black people in the military. Pilots, women, somebody said, what about pilots? There's way more. There's a shit ton of fighter pilots that are women. Women actually typically make better pilots than men do.
There are a lot of women in the Air Force. I dated.
So that's a meritocracy thing where women who are much better than men that are pilots. I'm all about it. We had there's a famous AC-130 pilot who was a woman, and she was an absolute badass. So have no problems with that. That's not DEI though. You know what I mean? That's still meritocracy. If a woman is the best person for that job, I want her to have that job. That's what meritocracy is, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by that. Treason is treason.
Oh, you just skipped one.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
Anne
I?
Marie. I was about to read it. Yeah.
Oh,
You pulled
okay,
it.
there we
You
go.
Put it right back down. Hey, Bays, great show, guys. Just showing my support. T-shirt ideas for my crochet channel is a great idea, Nate.
Are you saying, do you need a t-shirt idea from me?
No, I think she's saying her. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, Anne, I don't have any good ideas for crocheting. I don't know anything about it, but maybe I'm not sure what you meant, but very cool. Thank you. Okay, another one for you guys. Next three are for either Jesse or you guys.
I build data centers in New Albany, Ohio. Look into the New Albany company. I'd call it bullshit in the underground city based on what I've seen. Okay.
Next one. Oh, this is the same comment twice.
Many
Yes,
answers in the Aspen Institute.
A lot of people have said this tonight. We'll have to look into it.
Look that in.
Nate, you have to check the German physics teacher on YouTube about the recorded sound for the CK events. It's a much watch. Can you get me like the channel? It's going to be really hard for me to. If I type in German physics teacher, it's probably not going to get me what I'm looking for. So if you can send me it on Instagram or email it to me, so I can actually know where to look for that, I'd love to watch it. For somebody else with the comment or no comment, thank you. Have you considered testing the audio from the gunshot that killed Charlie? I would like to see what the 30-06 sounds from 142 yards. Problem is, I don't know. I don't have any. I wasn't there. And when it comes to audio, a gunshot audio on camera phone and stuff like that is not accurate. It's very, very hard to tell what is what. A pistol and a 30-06 sound basically the same next to an iPhone. So I think somebody has done, hasn't somebody done audio analysis on this? Wasn't there a guy who?
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it was though.
Yeah, that's the problem is without having like actual audio equipment there designed to test these things. When the gunshot went off, I'm not sure how we could really.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Super
I'm not
accurate
sure what the
from that.
foundation of their research was.
For maybe you, Aaron, Jesse.
Oh
no,
yeah, don't read it.
Well, yeah. Thank you. We can't read that one. Jen says this is some bullshit. I agree. What happened to America First? JFK and Charlie are both rolling in their graves right now. Thanks for what you're doing, researching and calling out the BS. And George Washington and all of the founding fathers and like every American politician up to the 50s is rolling in their graves right now about this.
And General Patton.
Up until about 1947 are rolling in their graves right now. So for you guys.
Do you think the iCountry or even Trump might set off a tactical nuke in the next few months? I hope not.
Well, apparently the United States doesn't have tactical nukes. So you guys know. I didn't know this, but on our show on Friday, Ben Pappas had one of America's leading nuclear engineers on the show. No, he had him on a show, and then Ben was telling us about this, that apparently the United States doesn't even have tactical nukes. So we got rid of them, I guess.
Do you believe that? I don't know.
No, I do believe that. Yeah, I do
Really?
believe that we don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't believe in nuclear weapons at all, bro. I do believe in them, but apparently. But do I think the United States might use one on Iran? Yes, I do, actually. I do think we might use one on Iran.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Why exactly?
Because there's going to be some type of reason we need to do it, aka it's going to be the Hiroshima reason, right? Well, instead of, here's what I think, if we see one, it's going to be, well, we got to take out their nuclear capabilities somehow, and that's what they need it for, and it's going to be an excuse for avoiding a ground invasion, right?
Okay.
It's going to be the Iwo Jima excuse, right? The Pacific excuse, where if we have to have a ground invasion, hundreds of thousands or millions of troops will die. So instead of that, we're going to drop the nukes.
Would that be better than a ground invasion?
I mean,
world. I mean, not,
what does
saying,
better
like,
mean in that context, right? Would it kill millions of people? Yeah. Is that better? No, I think they're all bad.
Because if we lead a ground attack, we're screwed. We wouldn't.
Yeah,
survive.
but sure. But if we drop a nuclear weapon, then we become a pariah on the world stage.
I agree.
I mean, the long wind effects of that is insane as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I mean they're both horrible. But
Yeah.
do I think it's possible that it happens? Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
with this
because the way
administration.
Iran is built, it'll be like a Predator movie. They'll just be
Oh,
like
we're not.
picking
Yeah,
us
we're
off.
not. We're
Like,
getting. I tell people, don't get me wrong. I want to be very clear. If the United States decided to full scale grand invasion and send it and go take Tehran, could we do it? Yes. Would
really?
millions of people? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Would hundreds of thousands of American soldiers die doing it? Yes. Would millions of
Where
Iranians die
we
doing
set
it?
up at?
Yes. Huh? Oh, there's
Where
tons of
we-
ways. There's tons of ways in, bro. I'm talking
Really?
about if we're willing to do it. Could the United States military take Iran? Could we take down Tehran? Of course we could.
Oh,
The casualties would be extreme on both sides.
okay.
America would lose, like Vietnam would look like tiddlywinks. We would lose hundreds of thousands.
So that's
of
what I'm
people.
saying. That's what I'm
We
saying.
would lose trillions of dollars.
Okay.
Would we be able to do it? Sure. But then you got to keep in mind, just like we did with Iraq and Afghanistan, okay, we took Tehran. Now what?
Now what?
Now you have the 20-year nation building exercise that 100% is going to fail, and you're probably
And
going to
more
lose
people are going to
couple-
die because
You're going to lose a
now-
couple 100,000 more troops trying
Yep.
to take all 31 provinces. So that's my point.
Mhm.
Could and what's the strategic victory there? The
Nothing.
same shit we did in Afghanistan, where 20
Then
years
they're
later.
gonna find out there's no nuclear anything over there, and they're gonna be
Right.
like, "Why are we over here?"
So again, could we do it? Yes. But could you imagine the American people when 100, 200,000 young men and women have died and we're still in that war? Could you imagine
Or
that?
3 years later, yeah, totally agree. Stupid.
Well, hopefully with this new partnership that we have, we'll really have access to all their intelligence, and we won't fall for the bad intelligence that could potentially lead to those decisions being made.
Like they did in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And Iran, that's why we're here now.
Yeah, that's right. For one of you guys or Jesse,
Charlie Neck was the exit hit above the right ear. Yeah,
a
that
lot of
was an
people
early
think this.
that was an early theory. Did you hear the one that they said that it was the camera? That there was like some
Yeah.
kind of,
Mhm. I've seen that one.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Again, I
The shirt
haven't
going up
thrown anything out there.
Here and then back here is the thing that just boggles my mind. Where, what the hell was that? But that's
I
why
don't know.
thought-
So here's another thing, and I've talked to a few guys about this. We also have to be careful because Rob O'Neill talked about this, and I thought Rob had a lot of really great takes when he the clip that Candace played. The T-shirt one, we have to be careful when we say things like, "I've shot a lot of people, and I never saw a T-shirt do that." Well, you're not going to. Your eye cannot even pick up the movement of that T-shirt that fast.
yeah, it
moving in
happens
regular
so
time.
fast.
There'd be no way.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I've shot people from that close before. And you're also not focused on that, guys. I'm not
Yeah,
focused.
you don't
on
care about what the
like,
shirt is.
this
doing.
with this shirt. Like you're not going to see anything like that. So we have to be careful to be like.
Yeah.
Now I do think it's bizarre. To me, that
Yeah.
the way his T-shirt look with the way it moves, it does not look like what you would expect from a gunshot.
And on top of that, because I studied it, he didn't jump. The shirt went up. He
Right.
sat there. This went up. He sat there, and then he did that.
Yeah, so it's really hard
Don't
to
know why.
like. It looks more like compressed air that it's getting blasted up through his shirt, which leads me
Mhm.
more towards some type of some type of explosive or some type of compressed air device is much more likely that would cause that shirt to do that than a
Mhm.
bullet. But my point is just like that's not something you would see with the naked eye anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what makes it really hard.
Yeah.
But anyway, for one of you guys, you, Jesse.
I'm on Messenger with the Canadian family member, right now, and she said Canada is quickly turning against the U.S. Trump just put 3 new tariffs on them damn tariffs.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Maybe
ready.
Jesse. Will I see IDF vets at the VA? Well, you don't have to worry about that because they already have free health care.
Yeah. And we were already paying for it before.
Yeah, that
this
was.
deal.
Don't worry, we were already paying for the IDF's health care before this
Yeah.
happened. So trust, they're okay, guys. Your favorite IDF soldiers already got universal health care, so don't worry too much about that. For one of you guys,
Yeah, shout out to Pink Sky. Thank you guys for being the voice of truth. Thank you, Pink Sky.
somebody said seriously, yes, both free education, free college, and free health care paid for
Dang.
by you, the American taxpayer. Just so you know. All right, Lacey, the one of you guys again, or Jesse?
And they all serve. Remember that. So it's like the whole population.
exactly. They
Yeah,
have-
yeah. Let's not leave that part out. 'Cause we have
is,
three.
is this for one of you guys or is this for Jess?
Shout out. That's you.
No, but I can read
Oh, this
it.
is Jesse.
Yeah, great group right there. Thank you for keeping things real. On another note, I got played by Donald Trump too. Is there any way this is a play to overtake Philadelphia? I truly hope there's a good plan here. We can't see. That's what I was saying before. It's like, is there some type of deep
70
state
chess?
internal conflicts behind the scenes that we don't know about, and that this is like a necessary means
No.
to an end?
No.
I mean, it would be nice to believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's like some greater good type
No.
situation, but I kind of just think we're fucked.
I'm
But
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. The Donald Trump 7D chess. No, we're 2 years in, and it's just it ain't there, guys. I know QAnon wants it to be, really bad a 7D chess. We're not in 7D.
I
chess.
think that was another psyop.
Oh, QAnon. Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. For you guys.
Is that you, Aaron?
Let's see. Yeah. I compared my birth month to Bible verses that share the same numbers, and they all had one common pattern: resisting tyranny. Shout out to you. I love that. I love that.
Abolish pop-up packs. Yeah, we need to get rid of all the packs. What do y'all think about Agenda 2030? Is this the one where Democrats are planning on putting everybody in prison?
I think the 2030 was the Republicans.
That was the Republican thing.
That was
I thought that was 20.
Actually, no. You're right. I think that was. Yeah, there's two of them.
I thought the
20,
Republican one was
2030
20.
might be the Democrat one with the 15-minute cities and mass
Really?
surveillance. Yeah, either this is what I'm
There's
saying.
two different.
Either
There's
way,
a Democrat
either way,
one,
we're
and then
fucked.
there's 20. What's the Republican one that they're always complaining about? 2025. Project Print 2025 was a Republican.
Okay.
Yeah, but Adam's right here. But
That's what I was
2030, I
thinking
think,
about,
is
yeah.
okay. They're saying it's a World Economic Forum. Oh, this is
it's
this
Bill
is
Gates
the
that we're all
you'll
gonna
own
have
nothing
to-
and be happy.
Yeah.
The WEF one. Yeah, that's right.
Dang.
I mean, they'll try it. I'm sure they're going to try it. They would love that. But
Hurry, Bays. Come to Miss. I have chickens for you.
okay, we
I gotta
know.
get some chickens. I'm always
Aaron's
talking about
coins
golf.
and gems.
Gems.
Scott says to keep sane. I fish, Civil Air Patrol, play bass guitar, and thinking about doing Coast Guard auxiliary on top of work. There you go. That's what you got to do, guys. You got to have good, healthy hobbies is another important one.
Yep.
A member for one of you guys or Jesse. This sounds like for a full scale tax result. Time to send a message. We've been talking about that a lot. It's for
Nikki
base.
gifted 5 Real Bays memberships. Thank you so much. I love when you guys gift memberships. I do a lot of members only live these days because of that.
Gary, guess he needs the money. Great stream, gents. I don't know anything about that. Double
Hey, guys.
D Delaney. That's quite the username here.
Double D Laney.
It says he can't cause it will go against his narrative. I stuck up for you, and then as people started talking shit to me, it was a great video. Oh, him. Well, again, there's no reason. What are you gonna say? Here's the thing about that video I did, guys. The reason why I did it the way I did, I recreated essentially as close as you could the exact shot, and I showed the results. I didn't give my opinions. I said, here is. I went out and got we got our giant fucking crane or whatever it was. We went up to 9-degree slope, 141 yards, used the exact ammunition that the trial told us that was used with a 30-06, and I shot a large hog that was unalive that day to be as anatomically close as we could to a human being, and it blew through everything. Okay, I'm sorry if you don't like that test and you don't like the results, but what are you going to say to me about that? I didn't give opinions. I just said, here's what here it is. Here's the exact shot. Here's what happened. So what are you going to what are you debunking? That's what I don't understand. You watched it with your own eyes. I'm sorry. It's
But Nate,
crazy.
you gotta remember, cow femurs and steel plates are not the same as soft tissue and a human neck.
That's why I used a full fucking hog with
What
everything.
you were supposed to use was Superman.
I got to use. I get it. So what they're doing now is you didn't use a real live human being's neck,
Right?
And it's
Yeah.
okay, well,
That had a
That's-
Superman neck.
right. That's where we're putting the foot down. That's why the
Yeah.
test isn't accurate because I didn't use a real live human being. Okay, got it, guys. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how much closer you want me to get. Right. But has anybody else gone out and done that close of a test other than
No.
me?
Nobody.
No. So what are you fucking mad at me for?
Yeah.
Because it didn't show you the results that you wanted. Oh, sorry. And I didn't manipulate the results. I walked up to the animal and showed you the giant 5-inch fucking hole in its body.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say I appreciate you for doing that, because that is the effort that I was saying, instead of just voting and just going home or whatever it is.
Or just
while we're
yapping
doing
your
this type
fucking
of
mouth on
content.
X.
Yeah, go out and actually do something to kind of like prove your point, prove your theory, do something. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you doing that.
I wasn't even going to prove a theory. All I did was to go out to recreate the shot as close as we could to the shot taken supposedly by the FBI narrative. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And they attacked me for it. Isn't that bizarre that they attacked me? I didn't give any definitive results, and they attacked me for doing the test.
What was the reason for the attack? Did they say it was wrong? It was inaccurate?
They don't like me personally.
Oh, yeah. It is what it is.
They don't like me personally. And it is what it is. That's fine. But you know what I mean? And I know, because they tried to get one of my friends to go on the stream to trash me. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I know that's what they're trying to do.
Who is they? They got him to do that?
The people that just, Gary and his buddies that just did the live stream that attacked me yesterday. So I know that's what they were doing, because my buddy fucking told me that's what they were trying to do.
Oh, he attacked you again yesterday too?
Yeah, they did a whole nother episode trying to debunk my new test.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I know what you're doing now. So, hey, buddy, jig's up. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Again, what you're mad that I went and conducted a test? It's so bizarre, isn't it? Doesn't it feel very COVID-ish? Of like, hey, shut your fucking mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very, very COVID-ish.
Yeah, Nate, don't tell anybody about the ivermectin.
Exactly, and it's like, dude, all I did was I went out and did a test and showed you the results, and you're fucking mad at me and you're attacking me for it. It's very bizarre, right?
My Instagram page got deleted because of all that COVID stuff. I was just warning people, and the shit just disappeared, and I had to start all the way over.
Yeah. For you guys?
Anne-Marie, taxes and shirts is what I meant. I was saying that doing the merch for taxes. Yeah, I got to start a regular LLC.
I track TPUSA money. Will you look? Well, you've got to show me what you're talking about for me to look. Do you think it would be possible to create an America First lobby using funding from individuals, or to raise money or sway people in power other than violence? We as people can do it. Save the nation. Well, we talked about that earlier. It would be nice if we could get an America First PAC that could actually. But again, to Bezos' point, like, the people who want to donate to that don't have any money to be able to push that PAC, because the people who are taking all the money are getting it from foreign lobbies.
Yeah.
So there's nobody. It doesn't seem like anybody wants America First policies, at least not the people with the cash. So.
And even if you had somebody that was like a billionaire that wanted to do the right thing, he's probably like thinking like, he's got all the other billionaires, all the other corporations, the whole military industrial complex. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do other than get myself killed? You know what I mean? Like, for real.
Yeah. In regards about us, you know what, in Iran, I don't think we could, even if 47 wanted to. If we do, we most certainly could. we could drop those on anybody we want. Who's to say China won't retaliate and join the conflict? Because China is non-interventionist and they're not going to be involved.
Yeah, China's worried about China.
Yep. Nuking Iran could perhaps be a precursor. No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody would do anything about it. I think we would become a pariah on the world stage, and people would cut America off in a lot of different ways. Would they try to be involved with that? No, I don't think so.
It'd be like us getting mad about the deal and just talking shit on social media and making videos venting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, China. You guys to understand, China is very, like Baze said, concerned about China. They really don't give a shit about anybody else or what's going on, as long as it doesn't affect them.
Yeah, and they're already trying to find ways to get more energy, because they were a big consumer of energy, from Iran with the oil.
Real quick, Gary says, "Come on, Nate, put one through a 1/2-inch plate of steel." Unfortunately, in my first 30-06 ballistic test, I did put one through a 1/2-inch plate of steel.
That was what I talked about before.
I believe I have it. I actually brought it home with me. It was so ridiculous. I have it around here somewhere, but yes, I already did that. So I don't know what to tell you. We tested the Superman neck theory, and it didn't work. There's a theory that he was wearing low-profile vest. Yeah, two problems with this. Low-profile vest is not going to stop a 30-06 round. It's not ballistically strong enough for that. And two, if he were to have full like level 5 ceramic plates on that could potentially stop that, it would be obnoxious. They're huge, right? They're like
Plus,
that
if you
big.
got hit in the chest, he wouldn't have bounced up and down the way he did, right? Wouldn't he have gone back? Like, isn't that
He
yeah,
would've
probably.
fell back.
If he
He
got
would've
shot in the
fell
chest
back.
with body armor,
30
it would have.
yeah, he would have been like,
It would have blown him
back.
Yeah, it would have blown because all that force gets spread out through the entire plate, and it would have been getting like hit by a linebacker. He would have flown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like jerked off and then he
Yeah,
jerked off.
no.
He jerked up and then fell to the side.
No, definitely no body armor. We did think that early. Actually, you know who really thought that early?
Gary.
Yeah, certain someone was his theory. I'm currently in the Marines, and none of us at my unit wanted it. We're disgusted with this. Retention problems inbound the country with espionage at its highest levels at the Pentagon. Really? Yeah, I know. I just talked to some young Marines at my house the other day, and they said the exact same thing. Thank you. Doesn't I'm not sure what to say. 14th Amendment say don't get into bed with other governments. Yeah, like the entire Constitution sort of says that too. So, but apparently we don't care about that anymore. Can we all pitch in and buy Cadaver? Oh my God. No, it's no, because you know what they would say? Well, it wasn't alive. He wasn't alive. So it doesn't count. So they'll find excuses no matter what, dude. Italian family, accept your Olive Garden obsession. I'm not sure, but I do love Olive Garden. It's my favorite. Trump is like a, you know what, with ED, just can't accomplish anything. Wow. Thank you, Preston. All right, we're almost here at the end. You know what, Iran, Russia, you know what, Ukraine? I don't think so, actually. I don't think so. You guys drastically overestimate how close of relationships those countries all have. Yeah, unlikely. As a pack, there is a lobby. Is this supposed to be an America First pack? I've never heard of that. Soft armor goes to max in J3 plus. You need level 4. There you go. That's basically the scientific version of what I was talking about for body armor. And last one, we did it. What's in the future for America at this point? Great last super chat. What's in the future for America at this point? Well, we got a lot of problems on our hands right now. I mean, fuck this. Like, we haven't even seen the effects of this yet, right? We're mad. This is still 5 months out before it gets implemented. Once it gets implemented, holy shit.
Is it anything positive?
There's nothing positive about this now.
I'm very worried about, because their way to deal with people speaking out about this is going to be censorship. It's going to be more hate speech laws. Like anybody accusing them of treason, they're going to be saying is committing maybe not committing treason, but you know what I mean?
I think
it's going to go in that direction.
To Bezos' point, I think we could see a perfect storm in about 6 months from now when this goes into effect. And if the Charlie Kirk trial, let's say it goes live in the next 6-7 months, if Tyler Robinson gets found innocent on top of this, I think they're going to bring in the most vicious hammer crackdown of censorship on social media we've ever seen. Because they're going to say,
blame it all on us.
Exactly. They're going to say, you guys are all too dangerous. Look at what you did. Right. This is all your fault. They'll blame it on Candace. Right. They'll blame it on all of us. And I think they're going to bring the hammer of censorship down on social media. If all of those things
I didn't even think about that.
And then if he gets found guilty, then they're going to say, oh, we were wrong. They're going to try to discredit us. They're going to say that we're spreading misinformation the whole time.
Exactly.
Probably try to censor us anyway.
They're going to say we tainted the jury pool.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, even though 2 months out, Megyn Kelly was saying that he's guilty, he did it. I want him dead. I want to be there in the room when they do it. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't.
That's why she's not getting no views.
Yeah,
it's exactly what they're going to do, man. Maybe not. Let's hope not. But I don't know at this point. We did it.
We got 2 more supers.
Oh, okay. Let's get the last 2. No more super chats. Love you guys. We got to get out of here. For one of you guys.
J.R. Nanamover, thank you very much. Why do we need 3 parties and not 0? Run on what gets you elected. Then
I actually like this.
I like that too. Second most votes becomes VP. I used to always say that, and people thought I was crazy.
Like this.
Works great in 3rd grade, better than this. Yeah. I totally agree. Why is it that if you're supposed to get the 2 best candidates, right? That's the whole point. Is that you're trying to get the 2 best candidates. And then one wins, and then the other's what? Just out of a job, and then just.
I do like that idea, and it also then potentially has like, ooh, you got a split partisan ticket, and now you got to fucking work together.
Yeah,
All right, last one, then we're gonna jump out of here, guys. Thank you all so much. Wasn't expecting to live stream tonight, and almost 4 hours in, but the world's crazy.
I wasn't expecting this.
Is the AF Lindbergh and Henry Ford versus America First Project and the America First you're talking. Well, this is the problem. This is why I like America First as a like thing that we say, but it's also not good for a third party because there's so many different versions of America First, and a lot of people conflate different ones. Like people conflate Nick Fuentes' idea with America First with something that's very different than my idea of America First. And so America First has like 6 different like versions of it. So I think we need a different, if you're going to do like a new cool third party, it needs a completely different new name. That's like,
Guys, one more question before we wrap up. I actually think that this is very important. Now that we are partnered up with a theocratic nation, it's a Jewish state. That's what it is. And is that going to change how we are as a nation?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like is religion gonna come
Yes.
be a bigger part of
Yes.
our political parties and where we go in the future?
Well, they're
like
they're
me,
trying to
literally
push it.
me personally, I always say I'm a conservative. I'm more independent, but like when it really comes down to it, I'm a constitutionalist. I consider myself more as like a libertarian with Christian ethics.
Yeah, it's like
more-
pretty much me right there, man. That's pretty much my politics.
and I think that needs to start to be represented.
Let me say this: the Andrew Tate red pill, millions of dudes that subscribe to that stupid mess.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
about
they
it.
can't wait.
we're fucking hardcore anti that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they can't wait for something like this to come in, because for the narrative to change and for certain Andrew Tate type of scenarios to work out, and you know what I mean, it literally would make it where those guys would say, see, this is what we're doing anyway, and then it I think it's going to turn into something bigger, because the Andrew Tate stuff is not what the other stuff is, but it's adjacent to it.
Yeah, you have like far right Christian nationalism.
Yeah,
You've got like there's a bunch of
it's a
different
lot of
versions things.
adjacentness to it.
Yeah, there is a lot of
around-
adjacentness to that.
Yeah, so it's like it's a narrative that's slowly going to bring the culture into messing with tadpoles, and it becomes something normal.
Well, that's kind of what the problem is. That's to your point. That's exactly what happened. That's what happened with the Tea Party. The Tea Party started out as a really good, like anti-establishment type of movement, right? That was bucking the Republican Party. And then it just got hijacked by Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and all these fucking neocons who just, MAGA was the same way. MAGA's like, this has happened twice now. The Tea Party that happened, MAGA then is supposed to be the America First movement. It starts out like that way. Who's it get hijacked by? The same motherfuckers that hijacked the Tea Party. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Randy Fine, like these same assholes. These neocons hijack the Tea Party, they hijack MAGA, and you can be for sure that they will try to hijack whatever this new pivot movement for the Republican Party is. They're going to do it for sure.
And then on top of that, I think certain laws will slowly change where people will be able to get away with the disgusting things that country is famous for doing. And next thing you know, more people would start doing it because the narrative changes for that also. So it's the women stuff, and then it's the other stuff that's going to change our culture to make certain things more acceptable for men to be able to get away with.
Yeah,
so women are going to be in danger. Children are going to be in danger because of this.
And I think you got a great point. I think we're seeing that being pushed through social media, through people like Andrew Tate that are designed to push that exact narrative that you're talking about. Yeah.
Like the body count conversation, right? It kind of occurred to me not that long ago. The reason why they talk so much mess about body count is because the closer a woman is to being a virgin, the more valuable the woman is in certain countries, right? And now that's turning into something that is more valuable here. But who are the virgins? What is the age of the virgins? So
Young.
It turns into, in
Very
order for
young.
you to get a virgin, I gotta be with this
14-year-old.
person.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we've had, like
She has a lower body count. What am I supposed to do if I want a woman with a lower body count? And then it turns into logic.
Yeah, unfortunately, there have been certain political movements that are, promoting freedom and power over the last couple of decades. And that combines with the influence of the mainstream media, of television, movies, music. We've really, in America, had this like demoralization of our values
Yes,
over the
yes.
last
Yeah.
couple of decades.
This
And
is
for us to
100%
really
true,
change the
man.
country,
Mhm.
that's what we got to really pull in and
Yeah.
focus on, and
Well,
try
that's
to
why-
be more traditional, at
that's
least to some
why-
extent.
That's why I have an entire channel, my American Thor channel. All I do is make fun of dudes like Andrew Tate and Ben
Mhm.
Azuli and all these fucking
Because
fake
we got to
alpha male
fight back.
dickheads.
We got to fight the narrative.
And that's why I never, like I tell people all the time, you will never see me pushing like a gambling product, a gambling website, any of this like, adult content.
Yo, that's so
any of
funny.
that
That's so
shit.
funny that you said that, because on YouTube, when it says like what kind of ads like do you
Mhm.
want to block, I blocked alcohol and gambling.
Wait, you can block our own ads on our channel?
You
I
could
didn't know
block.
that.
You could block the type of ads that YouTube promotes on your channel.
I didn't
Let's
know
talk
that.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I need
yeah.
to
So,
look at
That's
that.
so when
a
I was
whole
when I
new
was going through that,
conversation.
yeah, I blocked
talk about it in the
alcohol
chat.
and I
Wow.
blocked alcohol and I blocked gambling.
I know
And people
Ben
said not to because it pays well, but I'm like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know that. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that. Ben Shapiro is always actually his ads are constantly on my channel, which is hilarious. So I'm gonna leave those up.
oh, you should hear about who his biggest donor is. I'm not gonna that's
Oh.
a whole other story. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to eat some dinner. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to the guests. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Bays and Mr. Let Go. And thank
Yeah,
you guys
guys,
so
thank you
much
so
for
much for
the
having me.
donations tonight on this impromptu
Yeah.
live stream. Thanks to the boys. Any last words before we shut it down?
But
No,
Oh, wait. My bad. I got Texas. Thank you so much.
There
for the
you
10
go.
DFT memberships. Appreciate you, brother. Any last words, guys?
I just want to say thank you, Nate. You've been a good friend. You've been a real supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, Aaron. I've been getting to know you better. I want to work with you more, talk to you more behind the scenes.
yeah, let's do a live
and-
stream together.
Yeah, this stream really did make me feel a lot better about the situation. Like I was like really like heartbroken. Plus,
Yeah, I
pinched a
know. I
nerve on my neck.
talked to guys.
I've
I
been-
talked to Bays before, and he
Oh,
was like, "Man, I'm
dude.
just really feeling down." It's like,
Yeah, I
get it,
was.
dude.
But I
Yeah.
feel a lot better, and I hope that the people watching this, especially if you've been watching the whole time, I notice I see a lot of the names in the chat that have been sticking it out. I hope you guys are feeling better too. And at the end of the day, we're gonna persevere. Like we're Americans. Like
Yeah.
we're still Americans.
Hell yeah, dude. And I tell people all the time, man, I'm in this till the end with America. I ain't going nowhere. Like
Yeah.
good, bad, or indifferent. I'm fucking riding into the abyss with all y'all. So
Yeah,
Best we can
And I
do
just
is,
want to say, Nate, I appreciate you, and I'm learning so much from all of you. So just
thank you, brother.
the
I'm learning stuff from you
conversations
guys
we're
too,
having
man.
In the background, I really appreciate everything. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to do a lot more collaborative stuff, man. It's cool to get different perspectives, and everybody's got their own individual knowledge and expertise to add to the conversation. So
Yeah.
for sure. All right, boys, I'm out of here. Everybody, thank you
All
all
right,
so
have
much.
a good one. God bless.
Catch
Have a
y'all
good
in
one.
the next one. All right, see you guys.
Later.